5-3 DF Memphis. It's time to get up and get your day started.
Get up! Get up!
It's Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sports 56 Mornings is brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery in downtown Memphis. Now, here are your hosts, Greg and Eli.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome into Sports 56 Mornings, the Friday, May 15th, 2026 edition. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Jay Ham. It's been a tough week. It's been a trying week. Certainly, the Brandon Clark news was shocking to everybody, but we soldier on. Lots to talk about. Big show lined up for you today as we welcome you in. We're broadcasting live and local from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, it's where family and fun come together. They got the Memorial Day sale going on right now as they get you set for the summer. Check it out at 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. Currently 62. It's going to get up to 88 today. Breezy this morning, otherwise mainly cloudy and very warm. The weekend looks to be delightful. High temperature tomorrow, 86, then 89 on Sunday, but plenty of sunshine as well. Hour number one, brought to you each and every day by Old Dominick Distillery, 305 South Front Street, downtown Memphis. 150 years in the making. It started with the Canali family's arrival into Memphis all those years ago, but the revival began in 2017 when the doors opened to the public. I hope you took advantage yesterday of their great happy hour at the Distillery Bar, 4 to 7 every Thursday. $7 cocktails made with signature spirits, $4 local beers. But if you missed it, go on out there tonight. If you got an event going on downtown, you're going to have dinner downtown, you're going to any kind of sporting event or concert or whatever the case may be, head on over to Old Dominick Distillery for maybe a pre-game cocktail or a nightcap to wrap up your evening. Pouring Memphis pride in every cocktail. Old Dominick Distillery. You can find out more about them online at olddominick.com. Come for the spirits. Stay for the experience. Cheers to Memphis. Coming up on the program today, no NBA playoff games last night, but 2 tonight. And will those series be extended, or will we have our final 4 teams for the NBA Conference Championships? We will discuss that on the program today. Also, the rumor mill already starting about possible trades involving the Grizzlies, perhaps with Ja Morant involved. We will discuss that. The NBA Combine continued with games with the players that were participating. There were a lot of players that weren't, but we'll tell you who those standouts were. The PGA Championship off and rolling just outside of Philadelphia, and 48 players at or within 3 shots of the lead as they get the second round underway. We got Memphis basketball news to get into as well. The Preakness will be taking place tomorrow. We will have our expert on to tell you about that race. We got a lot to get to here on the program, including college baseball news, and the University of Memphis headed back to the conference tournament for the first time in several years. Our man John Varlas will join us at 7:25 to talk all things prep as the spring fling is approaching. As I mentioned, Ed DeRosa, our horse racing insider, on the Preakness at 8:05. We will not have Joe De Leon this week. He had some personal things to do, so we won't have Joe. He'll be back next Friday. 9:05, we'll play 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation. 9:30, Kenny Mayne, the former ESPN personality, the colorful Kenny Mayne at 9:30. And we'll take your calls and texts on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines at 901-360-8255. That is your lineup as we wrap up this week. How are you?
I am good.
Yeah, good night. Last night?
Great night down at went down to Barbecue Fest. Weather was absolutely perfect. Saw a lot of folks out there. Great crowd on hand, and it was a good time.
Did you run into Goldberg?
I did not see Goldberg there last night.
Okay. Tried like heck to get him on the show today, folks. Just I didn't know the right people. The Barbecue Fest, which I think is a great event, and we did a couple of remotes down there years ago, but really not my cup of tea. It was always the music fest for me, but it's great. It is going to be crazy over there at Liberty Park because you have the big EYBL event going on, and you'll have the Barbecue Fest that will continue the World Championship Barbecue competition. But for all the folks in town that may be listening to us, welcome to our great city of Memphis. I had a rough night last night. I don't know if it was purely indigestion or, God forbid, something's wrong with my heart. But, man, it still hurts today. So, I'm hoping for the best, man. It was a rough night last night. I usually sleep like a log. Jay Ham, how are you on this lovely Friday morning?
Glad that it's Friday. I can say that much.
Long week, wasn't it?
Yeah, just ready to break. No NBA games last night gave me a chance to just unplug away from that. No games tomorrow as well, so one of those, even no WNBA games for me tomorrow, so no basketball involved at all.
What are you going to do?
I might just fire up some more wrestling. Watch some good old movies or something like that, but just cool out.
You'll find something to do, of course. Nothing new on the Brandon Clark investigation front. Nothing that we heard, at least publicly. So nothing to report on that. We did get the NBA announcing the 2-minute report from the Cavs-Pistons game on Wednesday, the 5th game that went the way of the Cavaliers in overtime. And they said the no call at the end of regulation was the correct no call. So, J.B. Bickerstaff, even though you probably still disagree, nothing to get in arms about because, like I said yesterday, the 2-minute report is stupid, and it's a good thing that they didn't say it should have been a foul called. Because, again, if you are Detroit, you go ballistic. Now, there was no guarantees that Thompson makes free throws because he's a horrible free throw shooter. But at least, according to the NBA, they agreed that no foul should have been called. They called it incidental contact. And either way, there's nothing you can do about it. Even if they said it should have been a foul, nothing you can do about it. Tonight, though, there's a lot that can be done. And for the Detroit Pistons, it's win or go home, as it is game number 6 in Cleveland. So after Detroit lost at home, they're going to have to figure out a way to win in Cleveland to force a game 7. And Cleveland has not lost at home in the playoffs so far. Cavaliers a 3.5-point favorite, Eli.
Yeah, obviously, if you're them, you want to take care of business. Game 7s on the road are not generally that kind, but it's a great opportunity for them, and finally for Donovan Mitchell to get his opportunity to advance to a conference finals, which he has not done yet in his career. So we'll see if he can be really good tonight and give himself that opportunity.
Jay Ham, how can the Pistons even this series? Because Cleveland has pretty much said, Cade, you can go out and score 40. We're still going to beat you.
They got to find some offense other than Cade. You got to find somebody to be able to stretch the floor, help stretch the floor that's going to be able to get Jalen Duren space to be able to do what he needs to do because he can't create it for himself.
Spurs will be in Minnesota tonight, and they will advance to play Oklahoma City if they can get a win. If not, then they'll go back to San Antonio for Game 7. The Timberwolves at home, 5.5-point underdog to get the job done. Eli, can they get the job done?
They can. Whether they will or not, I don't know. It's a tough task, but when you've got Anthony Edwards, if he can do one of his special performances, certainly they are capable of doing that. But as it would help a lot if for them, if maybe Wembanyama elbowed somebody in the head and got kicked out of the game early. I don't know that that's going. I don't know that you could count on that to happen, though.
Maybe he misses the starting time, like Mr. Higo did. No, so I think it's going to be tough for Minnesota. We already talked about Dante DiVincenzo. You're missing one of your weapons. Edwards still not 100%. So there is the possibility, J-Ham, that both the Eastern Conference Championship Series and the Western Conference Championship Series begins on Sunday. We could have one. We could have both. We could have zero. What do you think will happen?
I don't think they will both start on Sunday. I think one will go to Monday.
You think they'll stagger them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to keep the TV going the way that it is. But
the question is, will both those other series end tonight?
I think one of them will. I think we'll get 7 from one of them. I'm thinking the one we're going to get 7 in is the West. I just feel like Minnesota can have one more. They got one more bullet to fire.
Okay.
And hopefully they can get it done. But either way, great series. I'm cool with it.
We'll talk later about all the rumors, and we're going to hear them for the next 5.5 weeks until the NBA draft takes place, unless some move is made. But the rumors, not only about the top 4 picks and maybe Washington, Utah switching places, swapping places, but also there's a lot of rumors now about Ja Morant and about other teams that have surfaced. These are just rumors. This isn't coming from agents or coming from the organizations themselves, but we will dive into that later on. In the meantime, the NBA Combine continued. Does it wrap up today, the Combine in Chicago? Do you know?
I don't know for sure exactly when it. I think I have no idea if yesterday was the last. I don't know for sure.
Well, they played games yesterday, and again, the guys expected to be in the lottery, picked in the top 10 and a little bit beyond, are not playing. They're not participating. So you got other guys, some projected to possibly go in the first round, later in the first round, some second rounders, others not even in mock drafts. So this is the chance during these scrimmage games to make a name for themselves. Not like it's the end-all, be-all, because you have all the teams have all the tape of you and all your games you've ever played. But standouts yesterday, according to Jonathan Gavoni, who I assume was there in Chicago watching this, but I'll rattle off some names, and then you could jump in on anybody you want to comment about. But one of the showstoppers was Baba Miller from Cincinnati. Trayvon Brazile, we know him from Arkansas. Jaden Bradley, the point guard from Arizona. Terrace Reed, the big from UConn. John Blackwell. Ryan Conwell. Dylan Mitchell. I think if your name's Dylan Mitchell, you're automatically an athlete. But anyway, these were some of the names that really stood out in the scrimmages. Anything that floats your boat? Anybody that you look at and go, yeah, he's a definite first rounder?
I mean, I don't. It's, obviously some of those guys are still trying to make their decision of whether they're going to stay in the draft and or return to college, and so that's for them. If it now becomes really big decision time. Granted, it's a much easier decision than it used to be because you're going to get paid either way. But it's but they've got a very big decision to make, some of those guys.
Yeah, this is when you acquire intel from teams. And I don't know if anybody's guaranteeing anything to players late in the first round or in the second round, but I think it gives you and your inner circle, your agent, whoever's representing you, a better understanding whether or not you'll be picked, and if you have a really good chance to be picked in the first round, by the reaction that you get from these games and from the interviews that you have with these teams. Because if not, what are you even there for? I mean, you have to gather intel to know whether or not to go back. All the players I mentioned, now some don't have any eligibility left, some do. And for those who have eligibility left, they know that they can do pretty well going back for a final year of college. But they're hoping, or they wouldn't be in this position to get to the NBA now. But they're not going to force feed it like, unfortunately, players have done in the past that ended up not even getting drafted and then wondered where their next meal was coming from. These guys have a fallback, and a big fallback, that have college eligibility remaining.
Yeah, and most of them already have a lot of money in the bank from what they've already earned in college.
Yeah. So we'll see, but some of these guys certainly making a name for themselves yesterday in the Combine games. I just think there is at least another day of that competition. In the meantime, teams continue to bring players in for individual workouts, and that includes the Grizzlies. We find out after the fact about maybe some of the players who are in with the Grizzlies, not through the Grizzlies themselves, not through the organization, but through those players or the players' agents, and it gets out there, that information that this guy was here, that guy was here. But again, what used to be something pretty simple for the local media, here's who's coming. We have these 6 players that will work out. Grizzlies, tight-lipped. I'm not sure if that's the case with all teams around the league, but with the Grizzlies, it certainly is. Yesterday was the announcement of the full NFL schedule, and every team had their own schedule reveal. And while the schedule coming out is no big deal, it's not a real big deal. The reveals, the videos that they put together, the thought process, the way they comprise these videos, I think they should be applauded. I don't know how many of these you guys looked at. I looked at a good number of them, not all of them, maybe 10, 12 of them I looked at. I looked at one this morning. The Minnesota Vikings one was fantastic. I love the Step Brothers, the playoff, the Step Brothers movie with Fernando Mendoza and Kirk Cousins in Las Vegas. I get a kick out of them. Eli, do you?
Can't say I really care about them.
You don't watch those videos at all?
No.
Wow. Jay Ham, how about you?
I've yet to take a look, but I'm cool with the presentation. I mean, they just created another product for entertainment.
Yes, that's exactly what they did. And a lot of effort put into it, some a little bit more than others, some more creative than others. I mean, the Titans is pretty simple, but it's always funny because they do the man on the street or the woman on the street, and they get the lookalikes, and sometimes it's a real reach who they think looks like somebody famous, but it's a good effort nevertheless. But there are some that they really put a big effort into it. But with that said, there are some standout games, as there always is. There's all those international games, which will start with the game in Australia, in not Sydney, Melbourne, I think. Melbourne's where it will be. But the rematch of the Super Bowl, the Seahawks and the Patriots, is going to take place opening week, September 9th. The Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. This will be only the third time that the teams that played in the Super Bowl the year before played the next year, and only the second time it's happened on opening week. The only other time was in 2016 when the Broncos beat the Panthers after defeating them in Super Bowl 50 earlier in the year.
Yeah, that's cool that we get to see that Super Bowl rematch on which again this year's weird because the opening night will be on a Wednesday night, which very strange, but that'll be on a Wednesday night of the season opener. Get the Super Bowl rematch. I'm sure Diana Rossini will be intently watching that game. So good for her, and hopefully Mike Vrabel's still coaching by then.
Do you know when the last time the season started on a Wednesday and what the reason was?
I have no idea.
It started on a Wednesday in 2012 to accommodate then President Barack Obama's speech at the Democratic National Convention the following day. I don't remember it starting on a Wednesday, but obviously it did. Other highlights: Kenneth Walker, the pride of Arlington High School, the Memphian, the MVP of the Seahawks Super Bowl win, who joined the Chiefs in the offseason, will return to Seattle for a Sunday night football matchup October 25th. Malik Willis, the new starting quarterback for the Dolphins, set to visit his former team, the Packers, on December 20th. Fernando Mendoza, the number one pick in last month's NFL draft, could make his NFL debut in week 1 as the Raiders host Miami. However, more than likely, it'll be Kirk Cousins. There's all kinds of other interesting tidbits about some of these games for this upcoming season. As far as the strength of schedule is concerned, the easiest schedule belongs to the Cleveland Browns, followed by the New Orleans Saints, Cincinnati Bengals, Atlanta Falcons, and my Indianapolis Colts. The toughest schedule, the Chicago Bears. Second toughest, Miami Dolphins, then Arizona Cardinals, Green Bay Packers, and Kansas City Chiefs. I'm looking for your Cowboys. The Cowboys are pretty much, a little bit towards the easier schedule. Not so much right in the middle, but pretty close to being in the middle. But again, that's based on teams' records last year, and teams change. But the NFL season Right around the corner, NFL camps to open up sometime in mid to late July. They announced who the Hall of Fame teams are. I think in the Hall of Fame game in Canton, I think the Arizona Cardinals, I'm doing this on memory, I forget who they're playing. The Arizona Cardinals is one of the teams in the Hall of Fame game. PGA Championship Round 2 is underway. The first round, 7 players at 3 under par, 48 players at or within 3 shots of the lead. One of those players tied for the lead. You may have heard of him, Scotty Scheffler. Another one, a Martin Keimer sighting, Eli Savoy.
Yeah, Keimer, very close to having the outright lead by himself. Just missed the eagle putt on his last hole of the day that would have given him the outright lead. But didn't, that's quite a surprise to see him up there. It's still like unbelievable to me that this is the first time that Scotty Scheffler has led after the first round of a major. It makes that like that's like the old Tiger Woods could never come from behind to win a major. Like you just feel like Scheffler's been in the lead constantly, but this is the first time he's ever been in the lead after the first round of a major. He made a couple of massive putts. And honestly, with him hitting just about every fairway, he missed one fairway all day. Really, the fact that he's only 3 under par can be a little bit of a surprise. And the fact that he had to make 2 30-footers to be 3 under par. When he missed the one short putt and just laughed at himself, that was funny. But, with the way he has played this year, that's got to be a scary thing for the rest of the field.
Sure.
When he's tied for the lead after round 1, because he leads the tour in scoring average in round 3 and leads the tour in scoring average in round 4. So it's, and I think he's like 6th or 7th in round 2. So bit scary for the rest of the people that he is in the lead or tied for the lead after round 1.
It was also funny that he got a chuckle out of the Philadelphia fans screaming about the Eagles will destroy his Cowboys when they meet on Thanksgiving Day.
The Philadelphia fans they can be that way.
There's no protocol when it comes to Philadelphia fans, even out there on a golf course. Couple of other notes, 2 guys that unfortunately I had in my competition. Gotcha. I think I had Rory and DeChambeau for the Masters, and I got them back for the PGA Championship, and they've let me down. Well, Rory, of course, ended up winning the Masters, but DeChambeau has been in shambles, and he shot a 6 over 76. Rory shot a 4 over 74, got in trouble off the tee, finding the rough, and the rough was very penal, and then just didn't putt the ball well. So hopefully Rory can come back, or he could be gone for the weekend. DeChambeau's got a lot to make up because there's a lot of golfers in front of him. We'll give you updates periodically throughout the show, but should be a lot of fun this weekend with the PGA Championship. Once again, hour number 1 brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery at 305 South Front Street. They got a big event coming up Saturday, May 23rd. That is a week from tomorrow. You're invited to Old Dominick's Crawfish Boil. Now, they had it scheduled for April. There was bad weather, so they moved it to May 23rd. Rock out the music by the Risky Whiskey Boys. Eat big and wash it all down with a craft cocktail or local beer. Old Dominick Distillery, May 23rd. Mark it down on your calendar. Come for the spirit. Stay for the experience. Cheers to Memphis. Learn more at OldDominick.com. When we come back, we learn more about the prep scene with John Varlas from the Daily Memphian. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Be sure to download our Hub 901 app for instant access to Sports 56 and all the Flynn broadcasting stations from anywhere. Go to the App Store and get the Hub 901 app today.
This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Mark Spensdorf Realtors. I'm often called Shell Done because I sell homes and work with buyers and I get the job done. There are 7 keys to successfully selling your home quickly at a great price. First, call me. I do my research and advise you on preparation, presentation, and proper pricing that gets you the activity to get the best price. Follow my advice and it can happen. I did mention 7 keys to a successful sale, didn't I? Well, if you use the first key, calling or emailing me, you really don't need the next 6 keys. Remember, that's Sheldon Rosengarten at 483-0546 or MemphisRelocate.com. If you don't need me now, write it down for later or for a friend. That's Sheldon at 483-0546 at MemphisRelocate.com. Do it now, and who knows, you may hear your home advertised here. Remember, as bad a golfer as I am, when selling homes, Sheldon gets it done.
It's time to get your backyard ready for the ultimate pool party with a little help from Family Leisure. If you've been sitting on the fence about taking the plunge with a pool, now's the time to take the dive. You want an above-ground pool? Done. Starting at $39.99, and that's with installation. You want an in-ground pool? Take your pick. They start at under $50,000. Accessorize that pool with a patio furniture set starting at just $9.99. Outdoor sectionals? They start at $12.99. In fact, all in-stock patio furniture sets are priced to move. And with select patio furniture sets, you'll get a free umbrella and base. Okay, you aren't looking to get into a pool just yet? Family Leisure has hot tubs that start at just $34.99. Get in shape or stay in shape with a swim spa starting at $16,999. Get your backyard, front yard, side yard, whatever, ready for fun. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
Veterans and active duty service members. When your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. An elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Extraordinary events come once in a blue moon, and right now, even the most extravagant luxuries are well within reach. The one and only May sale is back at Sissy's Log Cabin, and you can save up to 50% on nearly everything in the store. This is your chance to get the service, selection, and experience that makes you feel like family at the best prices of the year, guaranteed. Don't miss the one and only May sale at Sissy's Log Cabin, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. A steady flow of traffic coming down the interstate right now over here at White Station. All that traffic that builds this time of the morning passing Covington Pike, headed over towards the 101 connector there on I-40 at Watkins. It's moving at the moment on 240, especially coming past Mill Branch. Hey, bridal season, it's just around the corner, so make sure you shop local this weekend. Where? Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery in downtown Memphis. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back. 7:28 is the time, just underway on this Friday edition of Sports 56 Mornings. We're halfway through the month of May. Man, oh man, time is flying. And right now, it's time to talk to John Varlas.
It's time for Greg and Eli's weekly visit with John Varlas of the Daily Memphian. Check out John's prep sports coverage and much more at dailymemphian.com. John is brought to you by Shoot 360 Memphis, where the pros and preps go to get their shot on. Shoot 360 Memphis. Now here's John Varlas with Greg and Eli.
He is John Varlas, the award-winning prep reporter for the Daily Memphian, but so much more. He is with us every single Friday. You can read all his terrific stories at the Daily Memphian. Follow him on Twitter at John Varlas. He is brought to you by Shoot 360 Memphis with 2 locations, the original in Collierville at 85 Market Street. You can call them at 901-316-5500, or in Cordova, Big Orange Road, 901-779-3176. Get your shot on at Shoot 360 Memphis. Good morning, John.
Hi, good morning. How's it going, Greg?
Yeah, it's going well. I know you're busy running around. You always are, but man, at this time of the year, woo.
I'm busy, and Eli's over here freaking me out, staring at my water bottle.
Why?
I don't know. You're doing your lead in there, and I glance over, and Eli is appearing.
I'm just reading the nutritional facts of your. What is it? What is it called?
Essential water.
Essential water.
The official bottled
it's
water.
It's distributed by Nestle, which I did not realize Nestle.
It's got a little chocolate flair to it.
I did not know that Nestle was in the water business, quite frankly. But
Essentia is the official bottled water of the Daily Memphian Preps page. So.
It is. It's a gigantic bottle of water.
Eli just threw me a little bit. So yeah, how's everybody doing today?
Man, we're doing good. We're
Happy
doing
Friday,
good.
Next to the last Friday of the school athletic calendar. So time is flying, just like you say, Greg.
So next Friday you will be at Spring Fling?
I will be in Spring Fling in Murfreesboro.
All right. Well, a lot of good. You got a smile on your face. You're talking Nestle's and you're a big sponsor of the water. But always, John, we ask you first and foremost if there's a bone to pick.
Well, I'll keep it quick because we got so much newsy stuff to get into. But I'm still mad at myself for not wearing a hat at the track meet last Saturday. If you guys look closely,
I noticed you're doing a little
peeling all over the place.
You are peeling
like a lizard and itching like crazy. And my wife said, well, be sure to take your hat. And I just nod and go on about my way and don't take my hat and stand out at a track meet last Saturday in the bright sunshine for, 4 hours and come back red as a lobster. And I'm still regretting that decision. So one of these days I'm going to learn. And
sunscreen.
Yeah, sunscreen and a hat will help too. But
is your lovely wife a "see I told you so" person?
No, she's not.
Okay,
she's not. She just wants me to take care of myself,
sure.
and she's trying to help me do that. And I don't do that a lot of the time, especially with the hats. So going forward, next week for Spring Fling, yes, Eli, plenty of sunscreen, plenty of hats, and hopefully. When you guys see me after that, I won't be shedding skin like a lizard all over the place.
Well, even a little burn and shedding skin looks better than Stuart Sink when he has the bald head and the hat, and then he takes it off, and it's, oh my gosh, you've seen that, right, Eli? That's not a good look.
It's a battle for us bald folk. When you're out on the golf course, you gotta remember that you gotta take your hat off for a little while.
Right, got to even it out.
You got to battle out you battle the half moon on the back of your head. There's a lot to be considered when you're a bald-headed gentleman.
Well, it's true, John. Even though you burned a little bit because you forgot the hat, weather-wise, knock on wood, up until now, we haven't had a ton of really hot, oppressive days that you're out there dying, and usually we do. And the reason I know this is because I do the Memphis Tigers baseball games, as you know, at home, and we go through those, especially late in April and May. We did not have one of those games. Is that the feel you have because you're out so much for these prep games?
Yeah, no, weather's been great. I mean, and even we haven't had too much trouble with rain and rescheduling this spring either. We've been very fortunate. Now, kind of right on cue next week, I think it is supposed to rain some in the Murfreesboro area, and I think it's also going to be pretty warm as well. So there may be some issues with that next week in terms of scheduling and keeping the events on schedule. But yeah, Greg, like you said, it's been a very nice weather week. In fact, actually, I was a little, towards the end of the baseball game I was at last night, I was a little cold. I was in my shorts and my short sleeves, but I was a little cold on, heading towards 9:00 out there at Houston High.
So Speaking of baseball, let's get into it. Where do things stand locally as far as the baseball teams go?
Well, we've got everybody almost in the clubhouse. We congrats to St. George's. They've qualified in Division 2A, the smaller of the two private school divisions. John Mungle, name you might be familiar with,
yes.
Greg. I think former Mississippi State player, former Houston High standout, played for the great Ron Polk there at Mississippi State. He's second year over there at St. George's. He's got his guys in the state tournament for the first time in 9 years. And
great,
really good group over there. Some talented dudes. They got two Division I guys, two Division I pitchers. Quinn Showalter is going to pitch at Virginia. Mason Woods, who's a junior, but he's committed to pitch to Kentucky. Senior dominated team with some really good bats up and down the lineup. We actually had a story about them this week in the Daily Memphian. They're using some new technology kind of analytics based stuff that apparently has really helped their hitting. So they got six or seven guys hitting over 400, along with some terrific pitching. So it's a very good team. And pat on the back to yours truly. Apparently 3 years ago, when these guys were freshmen, somebody helped me remember that I had tweeted that this group, has the potential to be really special when they're seniors. And you said that 3 years ago, and now they're seniors and they're close to fulfilling that potential. So how about that?
How about that? The key
is the cap to the prep writer.
Yes, the key is to throw out all that stuff years in advance and hope that you hit it one time with one team.
Well,
I'm kidding.
No, but it's just a fun thing. But in fairness, you could kind of see the potential of that group back then, and now the core are seniors.
That's great.
Showalter and Rollin Kroos and Hayden Red and those guys. They got some good young players too. Chancellor Shipp is a sophomore who's outstanding. He hit a home run in the deciding game the other night. So just a very, very good, well balanced team, and I think they'll do well next week. And
no kin of Buck Showalter, is it?
I don't believe so.
I mean, it's a very unusual name. That's the only reason I bring that up.
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I've emailed back and forth with his dad, but he's never mentioned it, so I don't. Okay. I don't think so. But congrats to St. George's, and congrats also to Houston. They advanced in the large public school division last night. They beat Clarksville 12-2. They run ruled them. They beat them. They actually run ruled them 2 nights in a row. So the bats are coming out at just the right time for Houston. And again, that's a very, very good team as well. Colin Bland going to Vanderbilt, and Cannon Day, the sophomore, who's, outstanding. Everybody knows about Cannon, Isaiah Ludlow, Will Beasley. They've got some dudes on that team and some excellent pitching depth as well, which I think, has a chance to really serve them well too. So congrats to Houston, congrats to St. George's, and they can be joined by Collierville. They're playing the third game of their best of 3 series today in Dixon County. 3:00 first pitch for that one, and if Collierville wins, they will join Houston in the large public bracket. So let's hope Collierville can get it done, because it would be cool to have 2 local teams in the final 8.
Okay, so that was a final. I didn't know how many went.
Yeah,
so it's 8 that go.
Double elimination for the public schools. It's an 8-team double elimination baseball tournament. For the private schools, it's a 4-team double elimination tournament.
Where does, if Collierville gets in and it's 3, where does 3 normally fall?
It's about right.
It's about right.
Yeah.
Okay. So 2 would be a little bit under, maybe.
I would. Well, it's hard to say, Greg.
Okay.
It's hard to remember year over year, but
sure.
Typically there will be a team in the large public school division, a Houston, a Collierville, an Arlington, perhaps. Even a Bartlett in years past, a Munford. So you can kind of count on one of those guys. You can usually count on Christian Brothers or Briarcrest being in the mix as well, even though neither one of those made it this year. And then you can typically count on one of the smaller privates, North Point, ECS, St. George's, somebody like that. So yeah, three's about the right number, I would say.
Last year, Lakeland, of course, won it all. Was there anybody else that won it last year in baseball locally?
Ooh,
or was that the only champion?
You're testing my memory. I can't remember. I know I'm drawing a blank. I want to say Briarcrest. I can't remember when Briarcrest won. I can't remember if it was last year or the year before. So I apologize.
Was that the first senior class for Lakeland?
This year's
the first senior class.
Yeah, in Lakeland, it's interesting with Lakeland. They were in the smallest public school classification last year, and they won the state tournament. They moved up 2 spots this year to 3A, and they didn't make it. The competition was a lot tougher. So, but they're fine. I mean, that program continues to grow out there, not just baseball, but all Lakeland athletics. They've had some good tennis success this week in Chattanooga at Spring Fling Tennis. So, they keep doing good things over there.
So tennis is going on this week.
Tennis is going on this morning as we speak. We've got 3 local kids competing for singles titles. Ivana Petkova of Lausanne in singles, Bo Schwarluck from MUS in boys singles, and then an 8th grader from Lakeland, a kid named Bram Mazrowski, has advanced to the finals as an 8th grader. So
holy cow.
He'll be playing for the championship today too in Chattanooga.
How does that happen? An 8th grader?
Well, you're allowed to play 8th grade in Tennessee. You can play on the varsity as an 8th grader if your middle school and your high school are on the same campus.
Wow!
So
Did not know
typically
that.
It's a private school thing. ECS. You know. St. George's,
sure, they come
North
up to,
Point. You'll see kids on the varsity 8th graders from time to time.
My goodness, that's crazy. Playing for the title as an 8th grader.
He is. So lots of luck to Bram and Ivana and Bo. We hope they do well today. And but yeah, singles competition going on tonight as we speak right now.
Real quick, what are the other sports schedules? So you got tennis going on right now. Next week in Murfreesboro, you'll have, like we always do, baseball, softball, and soccer competition. Next week also will be track competition, but that will be separate. That'll be in Knoxville this year, which, as we've talked about, really complicates things for a lot of people, including yours truly.
Where is tennis?
They're right next to each other, though.
Tennis is being played in Chattanooga this week.
So you got Chattanooga, Knoxville, and Murfreesboro.
I mean, it's not like it's the tri-state area down. I mean, they are far from each other. Okay, quick question before we get back to the teams, and we'll talk about softball here in a second as well. You just rattled off a bunch of guys of the teams that are going to be in the spring fling. And you said this guy's going to Vandy, this guy's going to, where's Day going to? Tennessee?
Well, he's only a sophomore.
Okay.
So he's not decided yet.
But then you name Kentucky. My question is this. You couple the Memphis kids with the North Mississippi kids, DeSoto County kids. If the bulk of those guys, and I know it's not going to happen, it's not going to ever happen, but if the bulk of those guys went to Memphis, would the University of Memphis be a perennial top 20 team in the country?
No, they wouldn't be. I mean, you need more than just a handful of local guys.
But it's more than a handful, isn't it?
Well, no, it's typically just a handful every year. But
okay,
and you need a lot for a baseball team. I understand your point, and if somehow the University of Memphis were ever to start making inroads with a lot of these baseball kids, but Greg, it's hard. I mean, you know what the facilities look like.
Oh, no, look, I'm not saying Memphis is. I'm just making the point of how talented this area is, because you'll see Ole Miss pluck a couple from the area. Mississippi State will pluck a couple from the area. Bama will. Tennessee, Vandy will. Arkansas will. Memphis will get a couple of guys. I mean, Memphis got some players right now playing great for them. Last night they qualified for the conference tournament on the shoulders of some local guys like James Smith, Tyler Harrington and company. I'm just saying, you put them all together year in and year out, it seems like that would be a really good. It's never going to happen. Don't get me wrong, folks. But
the guys you mentioned, that's probably the recipe going forward. Maybe if you sign with a larger program and it doesn't work out, then you like James Smith and Tyler Harrington did, then you end up transferring back. That's probably the pathway to success.
I didn't mean this to be like a Memphis thing. I just brought up Memphis because I know Ole Miss already has their stars and they get the money. I just brought it up to bring up the point about this area. If all collectively played on one school,
it's a talented baseball area.
Pretty damn good.
It really is.
All right, softball. How many? We know baseball is going to have minimum 2, maybe 3. What about softball?
Well, big congrats to Coach Johnny Sanfratello and the girls out at Tipton Rosemark. They went up to Knoxville this week and won a 2 out of 3 series with Grace Christian. So they're back in the state tournament. I think it's the first time for them in 3 or 4 years. And, really terrific group over there, too. Johnny Sanfratello does a very good job with his girls year in and year out. One of our best softball coaches and one of our best coaches, period. And, Lainey Howe and the girls over there. I mean, it's a tremendously talented team. It's, they got hitters, they got some pitching depth as well. And now that they've dropped back down to the smaller of the 2 private school classifications, I think that's helped them because they had moved up for a couple of years, and you're competing with your Chattanooga Baylors and those types in the state tournament. And now they've dropped back down kind of where I think they fit a little better. And so I expect some good things from Tipton Rosemark this week, and to go to Knoxville and win 2 straight games in a winner take all series speaks volumes of the character of that group and kind of the mindset and the makeup. And I think they'll do well next week.
All right, we got a lot more to get to from the prep scene. If you got a question for John, hit us up on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines at 901-360-8255. Johnny V, brought to you each and every week by the great folks at Shoot 360 Memphis. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Let Bryant Dacus and Brett Norsworthy take you home every afternoon. Sports Time on Sports 56. Weekdays from 3 to 6 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Looking for sports in all the wrong places? Try the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland's Town Square. Fun, exciting, friendly, and comfortable with wall-to-wall TVs. 24 taps for all your beers, including $3 domestic and $5 craft pints on Mondays. Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 happy hour. Music bingo Tuesdays. Daily specials and online ordering. The Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland's Town Square. Highway 70. Check Facebook for daily specials and weekend music at the Owner's Box.
Hey Memphis, Kayla Clement from Memphis Softball. You work hard for your money, so choose a financial team that works just as hard for you. Southern Security Credit Union offers great rates, personal service, and a local touch you can trust. Visit southernsecurity.org or call 901-452-7900 to join today. Southern Security Credit Union. Your home team credit union is a proud supporter of the Memphis Athletics and 901 Women and is federally insured by the NCUA.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. I wanted to take a minute and discuss advertising with you. There are so many websites that list the best service provider in your area. Even the BBB has an accredited list. You know the one thing they all have in common? A company like mine has to pay to get on that list. So that begs the question, can those lists be trusted? You know what can be trusted? History. We've been around for almost 30 years providing customers with the best service and the best products that we possibly can. So if you need a roof, siding, or gutters, give us a call. We'll come talk to you and let you decide for yourself whether or not we know what we're talking about. Fiveash Roof Services. Best products, best warranties, and in many cases, the best price. We're fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
Admit it. When you start thinking about tastes of Memphis, you think treats, sweets. You think Dinstall's. For 122 years now. What is that, 5 generations? When people wanted something to bring to a party that will just make everybody happy, they bring out Dinstall's. 122 years of Cashew Crunch, of Heavenly Hash, of Turtlettes, of their award-winning fudge. That's worldwide. It's known that well. Then there's the milk chocolate. It all starts there. There's the double-dip peanuts. And then every fall, those famous chocolate-covered strawberries with that fondant. And they won't tell you what's in the fondant, but it makes it oh so special. And easy to get to. 5 locations. There's where they make the candies in Pleasant View. There's Germantown. There's Collierville. There's even one downtown and in my neck of the woods in Laurelwood. You know what? 122 years made in Memphis and enjoyed by the whole world. Dinstall's.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery in downtown Memphis. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
That's me in the
Again, our thanks to Old Dominick Distillery, first hour sponsor of Sports 56 Mornings, and Shoot 360 Memphis, who sponsor the one and only John Varlas. All right, JB, we've talked baseball, we've talked softball, soccer, boys soccer in the spring. Where do we stand as we get ready for teams, hopefully a lot of them, advancing to spring fling?
We got one more game left for everybody to qualify, either today or Saturday. Last night out at Collierville, congrats to Coach Gareth Monroe and his Dragons. Coach Monroe's an awesome guy, really doing a terrific job with not only the boys, but the girls too. I mean, very, very good coach and a really cool guy as well. Thanks to a goal from the impressively named Seamus Craddochville. So what? They beat their arch rivals last night, Houston 1-0, so they win the region title, and that means that Collierville will host a sub-state game probably on Saturday, I would guess, against the runner-up out of Region 7. And that means Houston will have to travel to face the champion from Region 7. And the winner of those two matches will advance to the state tournament. I like both Collierville and Houston's chances to advance. Typically the Region 8 teams are stronger than the Region 7 teams, historically. So, and Collierville and Houston are both very good. So I think they both have a chance to get to state. And farther down in the smaller, in Class A public schools, Memphis Business Academy beat Crosstown yesterday at Howley Stadium by the same 1-0 score. So Memphis Business Academy will host a sectional against Region 7 runner-up, and Crosstown will travel to face the champion, and the winners of those matches will advance to state. So 4 public schools still in it, and a lot of private schools still in it too. Christian Brothers playing at home tonight. If they win, they advance. Briarcrest on the road against Chattanooga Baylor. They can advance with a victory. And in the smaller of the 2 private school divisions, North Point, ECS, and St. George's are all alive, and
wow,
they can win and get in. So we root for all those teams. Hope there's a large soccer contingent next week for Memphis.
It's funny in the private schools because like a team from Memphis has to play a team from Chattanooga to advance to state.
Right.
Like, theoretically, when you're playing across the state, that should be the state tournament.
It should.
It's funny in the private schools how much travel there is involved in these.
There is, and it makes it very hard, too. And it just shows how fine the margin is. You take Christian Brothers and Briarcrest, for example. If the result had gone just a little bit differently in Briarcrest's favor, they'd be playing at home, and Christian Brothers would have to travel to face a very good Baylor team. Now Christian Brothers stays home. They play Brentwood Brentwood Academy, which on paper is a much weaker opponent. I mean, it just shows how fine the margins are.
And you mentioned Tipton Rosemark softball. They had to play a team from Knoxville.
Yeah.
Traveled across the state just to advance to state.
Well,
it's crazy.
And you think about the track people. So they did the decathlon and the pentathlon this week. So you got Kari Webb from Collierville and Bryn Miller from Harding Academy, and the MUS guys. They're doing pentathlon and decathlon, so they're traveling up to Knoxville for that. Go back home for a couple of days, and they got to go back up to Knoxville again next week.
But they just run to Knoxville and run back
for the
right?
normal meet. Well, theoretically,
only the cross country runners.
That's right.
Yeah, that's
right.
The sprinters, they
can't do it.
They barely get down I-40, and they're like, worn out.
Yeah.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
It's a different animal. But yeah, there's a ton of travel involved.
There sure
is. It
is.
just makes it really hard for everybody.
Big state, for goodness sakes.
Well, it is.
All right, so you were on top of the Duran Sutton story from the beginning. It's official now. Duran's going from Ridgeway, where he'd been for a while, the head coach. He takes over at Germantown. So where does this put Gene Robinson? And what about? And we're look, hey, we're only a few months away from football getting cranked up.
Well, we are, and I hate to speculate, but if you're listening to this program, you probably know that when Coach Salisbury left Whitehaven, they decided to go with Stan Collins, who's a legend. I mean, the field is named after him at Whitehaven. Great career, good man. But he hadn't coached in 30 years, and he's getting up there in age now. So they go in and they make that hire, and you kind of say, well, what's the thinking there? And now now that Coach Robinson has left Germantown officially, people will put 2 and 2 together and try to get to 4. But we'll know what happens when it happens. But as of right now, Duran Sutton is going to coach Germantown next year. He's reunited with his principal, and those two have a really good working relationship going back years and years. And a lot of respect for Coach Sutton. He's a guy that came in from Georgia to play football at the University of Memphis, and he's made Memphis his home. Good success at Kingsbury, a school that's not had hardly any success at all in terms to speak of in football. And then he moved on to Ridgeway and had even more success there. A couple of state semifinal teams, coached some of the best players that's ever come out of this area. Jalen Walton, Sheldon Dawson, Brandon Lewis. I mean, those are guys. Those are guys he sent to the SEC. Very, very talented guys. The athletes kind of dried up there at Ridgeway over the last few years, but I don't think that takes anything away from Coach Sutton's coaching abilities, and it's going to be fun to see what he does at Germantown in 6A, and matching wits with the guys at Southwind and Whitehaven. So you definitely circle that game on your calendar for next year as well.
Yeah, that's that as obviously, as you said, the athletes kind of had dried up a little bit at Ridgeway, gets more of that, but also the competition you're stepping into. That is a brutal division.
It is. It's a tough. 6A football in Memphis is tough. It's going to be, probably tougher than ever this year. But yeah, Coach Sutton's a good man. I think you judge a person based on the reaction to news about them from their peers. And when I posted the story in the news yesterday about Coach Sutton, you see coach after coach after coach, saying what a good guy he is, what a deserved opportunity he is, that kind of thing. So I think that speaks a lot to his reputation and kind of the relationships he's built in the community.
You mentioned the high level and high caliber of high school football in Memphis, and certainly I brought this up in our first segment. We were talking about the NFL schedule reveal. And when you read the big story on ESPN and they talk about some of the big games to look out for, and the first game they talk about is Seattle, the defending Super Bowl champions, and Kansas City, and it's all about Kenneth Walker III, who is now a chief running back, and he's highlighted, and he came from Arlington High School. So just a real cool thing to be able to read that.
Well, it's very cool, and the thought just popped into my head. There's going to be so much talk next year, and deservedly so, when LSU plays Ole Miss, because of all the Lane Kiffin stuff, and not in any way comparing Gene Robinson's situation to what Lane Kiffin did, because Lane Kiffin's a moron and Gene Robinson's not. But there's going to be, I think there's going to be a similar amount of passion and interest when Germantown and Whitehaven next year for sure. It's always a backyard brawl anyway, kind of thing. And now with the coaches moving back and forth, apparently
Lane
it's going to be very
did something, or did he say something to make Ole Miss people mad?
He shook up the status quo this week, Eli.
We also have a former Briarcrest player who's now going to be going to playing at UConn in basketball.
Yeah, Jay Nash. It was a lot of fun to catch up with Jay this week. Kind of had lost touch with him because he played 3 years at Briarcrest, and then it's interesting. He moved down to Georgia for his senior year of high school. He played on the same team as Ace Bailey down at McEachern High School in Georgia. And
they produce a lot of athletes.
They do. He signed with Tulsa out of high school. Didn't work out there. He transferred to Jacksonville State and then got in the transfer portal again. Next thing you know, he's on a Zoom call, Greg, with your Maryland Terrapins, and then UConn comes calling, and it's like, okay, here UConn. I mean, this is the best of the best. Yeah. So it was really interesting to talk to Jay and kind of get his impressions on how that all came about and what he's looking forward to up there. I mean, and it's a situation where he knows he's going in there to kind of be a depth piece and compete for playing time and all that, but. It's a chance to learn. It's a chance to learn from Dan Hurley. It's a chance to be in that environment with all those great players and playing all those big games and be a part of that. He'll have a front row seat to one of the greatest shows in college basketball, and I think he values that as a learning experience, and it's a tremendous opportunity for a young man, and Jay's just a great kid too off the floor, so I think that kind of plays into it. So we're happy for him, and it was good to catch up with him, and you can see that story on the Daily Memphian Prep page as well.
Absolutely. Congratulations to Jay. Again, this guy over here, John Varlas, will have you covered with all things preps, spring fling. Next week, he'll be in Murfreesboro, but he'll be on the program calling in from, his beautiful estate. They rent him out a beautiful estate for the week. Really, really nice servants, all that, butlers. It's going to be a fun time for you, John, as always.
Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate you as always. I'm going to give a shout out to Coach Paul Edwards at Southwind, a loyal listener to this Friday segment. And I told him I'd shout him out this week, and I just now remembered to do that. So I hope he stuck with us for the whole 30 minutes.
Varlas Shoutouts. New segment, Varlas Shoutouts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shout out Coach Edwards.
We'll have to get a sponsor for that. Of course, John Varlas's overall segment is brought to you by the folks at Shoot 360 Memphis. Thank you, John.
Thank you, guys.
He is John Varlas from the Daily Memphian. Catch him every single Friday. We'll take a timeout. Hour 2 on the way. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Landers Ford in Collierville, #1 in the Mid-South. New 2025 Ford F-150. Employee pricing for everyone, plus no down payment. Yes, it's the Memorial Day no pay event. We're celebrating America 250 with employee pricing for everyone on hundreds of new F-150s, plus no down payment. Trade values are strong for now. Get top dollar before values drop. Shop one of the largest selections of new Fords in the Mid-South. The price you see is the price you pay. No hidden addendums. That's the Landers Ford difference. Get started now with our Landers Easy Pass at LandersFordMemphis.com. Don't wait. New F-150s with employee pricing for all, plus no down payment. The best sell fast. Landers Ford in Collierville. Remember, if it doesn't say Landers, you pay too much.
As reported on Ford's 2025 Total New Vehicle Retail Sales Report, Memphis Market. Employee pricing is a Ford A plan pricing program. U.S. residents only. Prior purchases not eligible. Other exclusions may apply. See dealer for complete details. Price plus tax title license. Offer includes $6.95 processing fee with approved credit through Ford Credit. Offer ends 6/1/26.
Napa Cafe celebrates 28 years in 2026.
Hi, I'm Glenda Hastings, owner of Napa Cafe, and I want to thank you for making us part of your dining experiences. Treat yourself tonight with a delightful dinner. Maybe start with an appetizer like our baked sweet peculiar peppers stuffed with goat cheese and mozzarella, finished with basil pistou, and move on to one of our cozy dishes like the double chocolate stout braised boneless beef short ribs with tonkatsu sauce and creamy mashed potatoes. Or a fresh seafood dish like our pan-roasted ginger-buttered sea bass with cilantro soy vinaigrette. I get hungry just talking about it. Don't forget about dessert, our famous sweet buttermilk pie with brown sugar sauce, or drink your dessert with one of our signature dessert cocktails like the lemon cheesecake martini, lemony, icy, frothy, and dusted with graham cracker crumbs. Napa Cafe, open Wednesday through Saturday for dinner starting at 5 o'clock. For reservations, visit our website at napacafe.com. We can't wait to serve you.
Come join in and celebrate 28 years of Napa Cafe in 2026.
Chris Price here with Metro Builders. If you were anywhere in the Mid-South lately, you felt it. High winds, hail, and storms rolling through hard. And here's the truth. If your roof took a hit, you may not see it yet. Hail and wind damage shingles can compromise your roof, opening the door for water intrusion. And once it gets in, the damage spreads fast. Ceilings, walls, insulation, even mold. That's why the sooner we inspect, the less damage you risk. Right now, Metro Builders has teams all over Memphis performing free inspections, handling same-day repairs, and providing emergency water mitigation services if needed. We'll show you exactly what we see, document everything, and help you take action before a small problem becomes a big one. Don't wait until you see water inside. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717, or book your inspection online at metrobuildersmemphis.com. That's Metro Builders Memphis. We don't just build, we build world class.
This traffic brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery. Come for the spirits, stay for the experience. Cheers to Memphis. Learn more at olddominick.com.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. A steady flow of traffic right now on 51 coming southbound out of Millington down through the Woodstock area. We got a couple of accidents in their cleanup stages out here as that volume of traffic increases already on 240 coming in past Mill Branch. Hey, don't let a slipping transmission make things worse on your car or truck. If you're having transmission problems, come to Amco Transmissions today. They'll take good care of you. Amco Transmissions, AA, beep, MCO. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, with Dave Woloshin, weekday mornings from 10 to 11.
Now, back to Sports 56 Mornings.
Isn't it a lovely morning?
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everybody. 8:04 is the time. Hour number 2 here on Sports 56 Mornings, the Friday, May 15th, 2026 edition. We're live and local, broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studios. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Jay Ham with you. We'll be talking some Preakness in just a moment with our horse racing insider, Ed DeRosa. 63 degrees. Going to be a beautiful day. It's going to get up to 88 today with some cloud cover. Some sun, certainly, but no chance of any precipitation. And then the weather looks to be absolutely outstanding for the weekend. Take advantage of it with high temperatures in the mid to upper 80s next week. Starts out well, and then some rain by midweek. Hour number 2 of the program brought to you by the great folks at James Gaddis Jewelers, your family's jeweler at 4900 Poplar between Mendenhall and St. Nick, and on the web at gaddisjewelers.com. And every Monday and Friday, they bring you the Memphis Sports Fact. I kind of alluded to this in our first few minutes of the show today. We got the big barbecue contest, the World Championship Barbecue Contest going on down there at Tiger Lane in Liberty Park. Well, they also have a huge event as well. Did you know one of the nation's biggest Nike EYBL events is going on at the Sports and Events Center? Again, that's at Liberty Park. That's a stone's throw away from Tiger Lane. So there's going to be a lot of activity over there, but it's going on. It will feature some of the best players that play at the EYBL Nike level. That's 17 under teams, 16 under teams, 15 under teams, EYBL and EYCL. You're going to see some of the stars of the future. Remember when Cooper Flagg played in Memphis? That's going on this weekend. Again, James Gaddis Jewelers, they always have something going on. They're open Monday through Friday, 10 to 5, Saturday, 10 to 4, closed on Sunday for all your jewelry needs. It's James Gaddis Jewelers. For all our horse racing needs, we bring on our insider, analyst, and insider for Horse Racing Nation. He is our friend Ed DeRosa, who joins us. You can follow him on Twitter at EJXDT. Ed, how are you this morning? Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure, yeah. I'm live here in Laurel, Maryland, and looking forward to 151st Preakness.
I spent many a day at Laurel, having been a University of Maryland student. We would go over there and we would bet on races and we would lose money. And a bunch of my fraternity brothers were actually waiters there at the race course in the clubhouse where they have the nice restaurant. Maybe they don't have it anymore, but yeah, so I'm very, very familiar with Laurel. Yeah, it's obviously being used because of the renovations and really the whole renewal of Pimlico. We talked a little bit about that the last time you were on. And, of course, we got Saratoga for a third straight year that will be the replacement for Belmont because the Belmont Stakes and that race course will not be back in use until next year. So a couple of backup courses for the Triple Crown races. But before we talk about what to expect at the Preakness, we got the unexpected Golden Tempo winning the Kentucky Derby and then deciding, the owners, not to bring the horse to Laurel. First of all, how shocked were you at that horse's come from behind win with the great odds? And then we'll get into your thoughts on a horse winning the Derby and not participating at the Preakness.
Yeah, I mean, Golden Tempo, I would say surprised me. I mean, unfortunately, full disclosure, I didn't think much of his chances, so you know, wasn't a horse I backed and was definitely just wrong about that. I will say, though, that, 23-1 odds in what ended up being an 18-horse field, like, that's not astronomical. It's certainly not a Mind That Bird or Rich Strike level upset. This was a horse who had won a prep race on the road to the Derby, had one of the best jockeys in the game, Cherie DeVoe, certainly one of the best trainers. So, there were signs there that I missed, admittedly. But nevertheless, this was never a horse that people thought was one of the ones for the Derby. So I'd call it a mild upset. And for those who cashed, if you were a believer, you got a great price. And he won't be around to burn you in the Preakness Stakes tomorrow. But that's just, this was a textbook example that if you handicap the race for a closer, he was one of the ones that you absolutely would have had to use. Unfortunately, I thought the winner would come from mid-pack, and that was part of the reason Golden Tempo wasn't really on my radar. But we'll miss him tomorrow for sure. I mean, he'd be even money or odds on in this race.
With the fact that it's another one choosing not to run in the Preakness, does that, do you believe, further the situation as far as maybe putting more time between the Derby and the Preakness?
Yeah, here's the balance for me, guys. Like, 2 weeks after the Derby, there's still some momentum. NBC covers both of the first jewels. And from a business standpoint, the betting dollars are there on Preakness. And, the Derby winner certainly would add to the TV ratings, especially given the celebrity surrounding the first female trainer. It just adds to the excitement in the race itself. So I don't want to downplay that importance. But the reality is there's real brand recognition in a sport that severely lacks it any other time of year. So it would be a real risk to move the race, I think. So the question is, how do you get these horses to run back? Just candidly speaking, I think one of the issues that they don't run back as often anymore, there's been some changes to medication policy in regards to what you can treat horses with certain time out from races. And with the 2-week threshold of the Preakness, there's some certain, and by drugs, I'm not saying anything illicit. We're talking, your typical, what ibuprofen, acetaminophen, like, painkillers after a hard day's work that you might take. Horses get the same regimen. They get massage, they get all that stuff that athletes get. But now that's off the table if you want to run back in 2 weeks. So I think that's part of it. People don't like to talk about that for whatever reason, but that's just the reality of training athletes is, you mix chemistry and husbandry, and that's how you get horsemanship. So I don't mind it. I hope they figure it out, because I think that 2-week period really does attract wagering dollars and interest much more than 3, 4, or 5 weeks ever would.
I buy what you're saying, and I defer to you for anything horse racing, even though I have been a fan and watched races since the late 60s. Again, you know a lot more than I know, but to me, what will also pique interest is when a horse has a chance to win a Triple Crown. And I think it's getting ridiculous. I think it's getting ridiculous. I know you said something about the timing and the schedule. I think what they should do is have 3 weeks, which would settle the issues you just brought up between all both those races. They already have the 3 weeks, right, between the Preakness and the Belmont, I believe, right? So the other thing I would do is the entry fee. I would make it where the horses that enter have to enter for all 3 races, and you put a collective price. Now, if they are forced out by injury, and a doctor or a veterinarian, I guess in this case, says, they're hurt, they can't run, then they get a portion of that money back. But I think they have to commit to all 3 races, because there are so many people out there that are not horse racing fans, but become horse racing fans when there's a chance for a Triple Crown winner. When there's not, I think it loses its luster. The fact that these races are at Laurel and Saratoga doesn't help, but what can you do about that? So I think it's really hurting the product. This is just an outsider looking in. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's no replacement for having a horse go for the Triple Crown, starting with the Derby winner and the Preakness, and then obviously if the Preakness winner, or Derby winner wins the Preakness, and you have a sweep potential, that adds to it. The other thing is, when you have these horses, more than a handful running back from the Derby, including the winner, other horses who ran well, that also adds to the opportunity of a rivalry, which I would say is the second rung of a potential, like, how do we get casual fans in? Easy Go or Sunday Silence. Unfortunately, now we're going on, was that 37 years ago, so it's getting a little long in the tooth. But I mean, that's an example of, people respond to that, East Coast, West Coast. And you remove the chance of that with these horses not running back. And the other thing, and this doesn't get mentioned much, and I feel pretty strongly about it, is, you call it a Triple Crown series, but for better or worse, Naira has pretty much gone on its own. The Belmont is on Fox, so you're not even on a singular TV entity. Yeah. And there is definitely, someone who covers this year-round and talks to the players, both horsemen and executives. Like, there's a real separation now between the Belmont Stakes and the first two. And I'm sure TV's a part of that. There's probably other stuff involved. But, as long as this isn't viewed as a single entity, it's going to suffer. And, part of it is the Derby has gotten so big that it doesn't really need the other two. But racing benefits when all three are a singular unit. And your point about the entry fee, I think, is a good one. They do have a singular nomination process. So the first step of being eligible to these races is called a nomination, and that is a single $600 fee that covers all three races. And I would think there might be some opportunity, to your point, where a little closer to the races, you have maybe a second tier that you pony up for and makes it a little more lucrative to run in multiple races of the series.
While the top two horses from the Derby will not be running in the Preakness, the third horse, which was a big long shot coming in third there with Oselli, will run in the Preakness. How big of a threat is he? Were people wrong on him and how did he end up finishing third in the Derby?
Well, I'd say he ended up finishing third the same way Golden Tempo ended up winning, and Renegade, for that matter, in second. The race just fell apart. Horses went too fast early. And, you look at the raw time, and it wasn't historically fast or anything like that, but they're pack animals, and, it was a pretty thick pack up front on the lead, and they just all sort of backed out of it, and that sets the race up for horses like Oselli. Golden Tempo was, better than him on Derby Day, but they ran similar races. So the good news is that if you liked Oselli that day, you're going to get a similar pace setup in the Preakness. So he should be able to close again and give that similar run. The bad news is if you like Oselli, you got 70-1 on Derby Day, and you're going to get about 8-1 tomorrow. So that's a pretty thick haircut, price-wise, but he's going to get a similar setup again, so he's hard to completely discount. But he's never won a race. I'm willing to let him beat me.
You made a good point, Ed. You talked about the race, the Derby, and it wasn't any record-breaking time or anything of that stretch. And in the world we live in now, we see athletes in a bunch of different sports now breaking records, setting records, because they have a lot of things that maybe athletes from the past did not have. Training regimens, all kinds of things. In horse racing, I would think they also have advantages, but yet Secretariat still owns like every record. I know he was a super horse and we'll never see anything like him again, but why don't we see those records broken now like we're seeing in sports with human athletes?
I'd point to two things. One, equipment-wise, there really isn't a lot of difference. And the reason I mention equipment is harness racing, which is standardbreds, and they pull the cart behind them. They have gotten faster, and a big reason for that is the bikes are faster, like they're more aerodynamic, the way they're hooked up to the horse. The different equipment they use has just made huge strides. Well, racehorses, it's a saddle, a jockey, and silk. And, there's been some development in silks and things like that to make them, better for wind resistance and all that. But, by and large, there just isn't a lot to improve science-wise in terms of what the horse actually carries. The other thing, and this goes back to medication and things like that, horses used to get steroids, and they don't anymore. And, in professional athletics, even college athletics, these guys, they're able to be treated at halftime. They're getting shots. Who knows what, things that you would be mortified to do to a racehorse on race day now. So, professional athletes, they're able to train differently, in part because of, I think, medication and chemistry type stuff. And again, nothing illicit. I'm not saying that not that people cheat. We know they do, but even just, your over-the-counter, run-of-the-mill stuff to let you train for a marathon. In racing, we've gotten more strict about not using that kind of stuff on horses, especially closer to race day. So to me, it just makes it harder to train them as hard as they probably were trained back in the 60s and 70s.
Well, I'm putting my fingers in my ears if you say anything about Barry Bonds and Secretariat, okay? So do not even go in that direction. All right, Ed DeRosa joining us on the program.
So, Ed, Taj Mahal will go from the rail. A female trainer of that horse, one of the top horses in this race, so we could get history again, theoretically. But what do you think of the chances of Taj Mahal?
Yeah, females never won the Preakness either, so that would certainly be an incredible double. And I would say chances are they would face each other in the Belmont. So, I would think there'd be a lot of talk about a female Triple Crown, that type of thing. So there's some opportunity to get some buzz going in 3 weeks. And Taj Mahal has a legitimate chance. I would say, in my estimation, he's the most likely winner. Just be a matter of, the price you're willing to take, which I believe I saw he's around 5-1 currently. Betting opened yesterday, so there's live money in the pool. And I think that's a fair price. This is an undefeated colt. I don't think the rail is an issue for him because he just wants to go to the front, and we'll see if he can lead him all the way around. But if he can, you're going to get the right price. And of the favorites, there's 5 or 6 in here that look like they're going to take an equal amount of money. He's the one I like best of the favorites.
All right, who are the closers, and what is the setup at Laurel? Is it a place really where you can close and win?
Yeah, you can close and win there, especially with the Mound 3/16. I mean, that's a far enough distance that if there's legitimate pace, as we saw in the Derby, which is a mile and a quarter, a 16th further, the field will come back to you. So if Taj Mahal doesn't have company up front, watch out because he can win this race gate to wire. But if some of the other horses in there, try to press him early, that could set up again for a closer. Ocelli, we mentioned. Just think he's going to be overbet a little bit. I tell you what, guys, I'm going to take a shot with the long shot in here. Corona d'Oro is a horse who was excluded from the Derby. He didn't make it in on points. They pointed for this instead. And at 20-30-1, I just think that this isn't a field of world beaters. And I like his style, and he gets John Velasquez. Who let me down on Further Ado. So maybe I can get Johnny V, get my money back here in the Preakness. But Corona d'Oro, I think, is going to sit behind that speed and hopefully get first run on the closers. Sound like a broken record because that was why I thought Further Ado was going to win, and it didn't work out. But this is a shorter field, shorter way around, so we're going to try it again with Johnny V at a big price.
All right. So what's your trifecta?
Trifecta, I'm swinging. It's a little more expensive than I give out. It's 6 horses, but what is that? $30 for 50 cents. But Taj Mahal and Iron Honor, so that's kind of the 2 more likely horses. Mm-hmm. Taj Mahal, Iron Honor. The Hell We Did, number 7. Number 14, Pretty Boy Mia. Number 4, Robusta. And shame on me because he's my pick, but I actually don't know the number of Corona d'Oro. But if 11. You box
11.
Those 6, 11, thank you. So if you box those 6 up, 4, 7, 9, 11, 14, I get them all. That's $30, and you basically are guaranteed in that scenario to get 1 long shot in. By guaranteed, I mean if that ticket hits, it's going to have to include 1 long shot. Which is what bulks up the payout. So, and if things get really crazy and it's Corona d'Oro, Robusta, and Pretty Boy Mia, you're looking at thousands of dollars.
So you said 4, 7, 9, 11, 14. Did you have Taj Mahal in there too?
Oh, and Taj Mahal.
Yeah,
Thank you.
So 1, 4, 7, 9, 11, 14.
What's the weather?
That's right.
What's the weather, Ed, for the race?
Amazing. No excuses. It looks like partly cloudy, so you'll get a little cover, probably a nice breeze. If it's supposed to be just like today, right now it's 67 and sunny. It's going to get up to mid-70s. Absolutely gorgeous.
Horse racing analyst insider for Horse Racing Nation, our guy, Ed DeRosa, joining us from Laurel. Ed, as always, thank you. We'll talk to you before the Belmont.
That sounds good. I appreciate having me on, guys.
Enjoy the race. Take care. Ed DeRosa.
I like the hell we did. I like the name of that horse. The hell we did.
The hell we did.
I'm thinking maybe that might be my horse just because of the name. Like it's not like I have any other reason to pick any other horse. Although maybe the Taj Mahal female trainer, maybe there's something
that would be something, right?
Maybe we can get the history repeating itself in back-to-back. And as he said, then that could set up an interesting battle in the Belmont if those are your two winners with the two female trainers. Oh, I wonder if a female trainer's ever won the Belmont.
Yes.
Okay.
It had to be because Cherie became the second female trainer to win a Triple Crown race. So if they didn't do it in the Preakness and she was the first to do it in the Derby, that means the Belmont has one.
So that would be crazy if there hadn't been won the Belmont either, and you had the two set history, and then they're battling to try and become the first one ever as far as the Belmont is concerned as well. That would be crazy, folks. When it comes to anything in the world of firearms, you know the place to go. That would be Classic Arms. Go see UTJ and the entire gang over at Classic Arms. Whatever type of firearm you might be looking for, or whatever firearm supplies you might be looking for, from ammunition to safes and cases, all that stuff, anything in the world of firearms, they've got it for you. They got not only new guns, but they also have used guns, because not only do they sell, but they will also buy and they will also trade guns over at Classic Arms. They've got all the top brand names that you can imagine as well. They do free gun inspections, free gun appraisals, free bore sighting, guaranteed lowest price in town. You find it all at Classic Arms. Shop online 24/7 at classicarmsofmemphis.com, or better yet, go see them in person. 1740 Germantown Parkway. That's right behind Corky's Barbecue there in Cordova. Again, for anything in the world of firearms, go see them at Classic Arms.
NBA mock drafts coming in fast and furious, and mock trades involving Ja Morant. We'll talk about that when we return. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets, with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli, with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Listen up, Rebel fans. Your next winning drive starts at Landers Ford in Collierville. Their game plan is simple. Find you the most savings possible. Make a trade, lower your payments, or let them buy your vehicle even if you don't buy from them. That's how you keep moving the chains. Just like the Grove on game day. Fans all across the Mid-South keep coming back to the #1 Ford dealership in Greater Memphis. See them today in Collierville or online at LandersFordMemphis.com. When you own a Landers Ford, you get the support of a certified service tech with the Landers Ford Remote Service Experience Program. They pick it up, drop it off, or fix it on the spot, so you're never left watching from the sidelines. To finish the drive, the iconic Landers Easy Pass always brings more for your trade and the biggest discounts to put you in victory formation. And now, straight from the 1977 Ole Miss football team that took down #1 ranked Notre Dame, the final snap of the day from Landers Ford President Don Kitchens.
If it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much.
As reported on Ford's 2024 total new vehicle retail sales report, Memphis market.
Hey, you ready to bang? Bangers Pickleball in South Haven is now open with 10 courts, a restaurant, and 3 bars. New to pickleball? No problem. Take a free Bangers 101 class to learn. Bangers offers a great time for everyone, and there's no membership required. Bangers even has events for you non-pickleballers like mahjong, trivia, whiskey, and wine tasting. Bangers Pickleball has it all. All the rage, all the fun, all for you. Please dink responsibly at Bangers Pickleball, 6787 Snowden Lane, South Haven, Mississippi. Let's bang.
This traffic brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery. Come for the spirits, stay for the experience. Cheers to Memphis. Learn more at olddominick.com.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. A couple of accidents in their cleanup stages. Here's what we're seeing. Still some volume coming down I-40 right now westbound, passing Chambers Chapel, Canada Road, all that. Traffic coming in from Fayette County this time of the morning. 385 Bill Morris Parkway. It's busy, but it's moving over here passing Kirby as you work your way inbound on Bill Morris this morning. Hey, St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital is leading the way the world understands, treats, and defeats childhood cancer. If you can help, log on to stjude.org today. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
To reveal the full spectrum of its dazzling color.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 8:30 the time. Final hour and a half here for us this week here on Sports 56 Mornings. Normally at this time, Joe De Leon would join us. He is off this week. He'll return next Friday. We got lots to get to, but if you want to hit us up, anything that's on your mind in the world of sports, Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines available to you. You can call in or text in at 901-360-8255.
Scotty Scheffler bogeyed his first hole of the day today to fall back to 2 under par. Martin Keimer, the great story from yesterday, 3 over through 5 to start his round today.
The difference a day makes, right?
Patrick Reed has moved into a tie for the lead. He is at 3 under par, along with Minwoo Lee, Alex Smalley, Potgieter, Jaeger, and Hitsasuni. They are all currently tied for the lead. Smalley, the only other one, along with Reed, that is out on the course right now. But again, Scotty Scheffler, one back. He bogeyed his first hole, left a birdie putt just right on the edge of the cup on his second hole of the day as he plays the back 9 first. Another chilly morning there at Aronimink, and supposed to warm up as the day goes along. But yeah, it's we are off and running in round number 2 of the PGA Championship. Garrick Higgo, the whole Garrick Higgo thing yesterday, his interviews and stuff after the round,
his answer to the question was confusing.
He's so, I still don't know.
I was there on time. He said
I was late, but on time.
Yeah, that's what he said. I was late, but on time.
I was late, but on time. And it's like, he's playing with Sean McKeel.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Sean McKeel is in his group that he's playing with in these first 2 rounds. Because even the one he said, they hadn't even announced Sean yet, and I was there. But he in the interview with Marty Smith on ESPN, and he kept he was like, I mean, it's the rule. Like, if you're late, I know that's the rule. And then he's like, and I was late, but I was on time. And at the end, Marty was like, so do you agree with the penalty? And he's like, no. You just said it's the rule, and you weren't there. You were late. I don't know how you can disagree with the penalty if you know it's the rule and you know you were late.
Here's what I think he was trying to say. I forget what his tee time was. Let's just make up a tee time, okay? Let's say 7:40 a.m. I think what he's saying is, I was there at 7:40, but the clock was 7:40, 22 seconds. When you really got to be there at 7:39 when your tee time is 7:40. I think he's saying, I was there at 7:40, But
except for he wasn't. He was a minute late.
Right. But I think it's what he's.
I believe his tee time was actually 7:18, and he showed up at 7 or 8. It might have been Eastern. It might have been 8:18, and he showed up at 8:19.
Yeah. The point is that I think he's arguing that he was there at the exact time of their scheduled tee time, and that it was just seconds later. When you're saying, which was the case, he was at least a minute late. And by the way, how do they? I always thought they flipped like we do, like flip a tee to who go. How do they determine who's going first to open the tournament? Like, was he the third guy off?
No, that's what his thing is. He knew he was going third,
right?
And so his thing, what he's saying, what I believe he's saying, when I was late but on time, is I was not like. I had not been announced. It was not my turn.
It wasn't.
Like,
yes,
I was there in plenty of time for my turn.
That's true. He's saying, why do I have to be there when Sean McKeel's hitting when I'm there for me?
Yeah. So I think that's what his point was, is that I was there in plenty of time.
But that's not the rule.
It's not like they were ready to announce me and I wasn't there.
Right.
I was there whenever they were going to announce me. I was going to be there ready to hit. But he admitted knowing. The rule, he said, like, the rule is you have to be there, and yet he says he disagreed with the penalty, which, I'm like, I don't know how you can disagree with something when you knew the rule and you know you were late based on the rule.
But the bottom line is,
he kept talking in circles.
I know.
It was just hilarious to hear him talk about it.
But don't make it a close shave. And he still ended up shooting, what, 1 under?
He would have been tied for the lead without the penalty.
Right.
It's an unbelievable round of golf to have that before you even start. And to go out there and play the way he did is crazy. I mean, he would have been tied for the lead had he just shown up for his tee time on time. He would have been tied for the lead last night.
Just get there ahead of time. Don't wait. He said, I like to wait to the last second. Don't wait until the last second. But again,
he said he did not have his watch. He did not have his phone. His caddy had already gone over because his caddy went to put his TrackMan away. Again, if I'm in that situation and I don't have my watch or my phone, I'm probably if I know it's getting close, probably ask somebody around me, hey, what time is it? So I can make sure that I am on the tee box well before my scheduled tee time.
I'm sure there's also a big clock around there. But again, to open the tournament, when do they and how do they determine who goes first in order?
I think it's just determined by the order. I don't know, whatever you're listed on the thing. I don't know.
Okay, there's no draw or anything. Obviously,
no.
It's different when you have scores and you've already competed. But when you go in there and everybody is all even, I always wondered about how they do that.
Keith Texans says you have to give it up for Patrick Reed. He really steps up in the big moment. I mean, listen, the dude. Well, he's playing great golf this year on the DP World Tour, and that's what's going to earn him a spot back on the PGA Tour. I mean, he's been playing fantastic golf. But yes, Patrick Reed, no question. In the majors, he does generally step up and play some good golf.
I think he's a great golfer. He's from Augusta. That's why he plays so well at the Masters, having won there. But I'm sorry, there's always going to be that attachment of he cheats or he's cheated before with Patrick Reed. I don't know all the circumstances and all that, but people always
because he's been
claim cheating with Patrick Reed. That name is associated with cheating. All right. Okay. We're in the mock draft season. We've been in the mock draft season even before the draft lottery, but now we're really in the mock draft season because we know the exact order unless trades are made. And it's interesting because a lot of people out there who put these mocks together are going out there on a limb and they're predicting trades, even possibly between 1 and 2. So nothing is etched in stone. I am looking at our friend Sean Devaney's mock at heavy.com where he has the Grizzlies selecting Cameron Boozer at number 3. But what's interesting about his mock is he has Yaxel Lendeborg, who interviewed with the Grizzlies. I'm not sure if he's worked out yet for him. He has him going 6th to Brooklyn. That's the first time I have seen, and I haven't looked at every single person's mock, but that's the first time I've seen somebody other than the big 4, the 4-point guards, everybody knows who I'm talking about, not be the top 8 in one order or another. He's got Lendeborg. I think the guy you got to look out for is Mara. I think that's the guy who can move up. But let's get back to people coming up with trades. And now a lot of people, since we know the order, are coming up with trades for the Grizzlies because it's not a secret what the Grizzlies want to do with Ja Morant. Whether or not a trade happens, at draft time or right before the draft or after the draft, we don't know. But these people are putting together trades that would involve the Grizzlies and Ja Morant draft night. And it would also involve the Grizzlies moving around in the draft. I saw one where the Grizzlies would drop to 4. I wrote that one down. This one was Ja Morant and the number 3 pick to the Chicago Bulls for Patrick Williams, Isaac Okoro, Rob Dillingham, and the number 4. Okay. Unless you're absolutely enamored with the third guy that you have on the list, assuming not taken at 1 or 2, over the guy who was your 4th guy, and you don't believe you can get more for Ja Morant, that's not bad right there. Now, I've seen others where they got Ja, and they got the Grizzlies dropping the 6, involving a trade with Ja Morant. I don't know if you're going to drop that far, especially if you are, again, enamored with those top 4 guys, in the order, whatever order you have. But there may be somebody else who they like. And that's the only way I could see that the Grizzlies, if Ja were to be traded draft night, that they would move down. I just don't think they would move down to that spot. But this one I just brought up, Eli, it's fairly intriguing, is it not?
I think there's less than a 0% chance of it happening.
Less than a 0% chance.
They're not going to take that many players back. They don't have roster spots.
Yeah, but some of the players they have, they may be better. And then here's the thing. What do they think they can get for Ja? I know what they've held out for. I know they wanted a first. And the offers that they got, which we don't know exactly what they got offered, was not good enough. Most people believe in the basketball know that the offers that they'll get now will be more substantial than what they would have got if they forced a trade before the trade deadline of the past season. But how substantial? I don't know. I mean, I still think that there's going to be a Ja resurrection. How long that lasts, I have no idea. But it's going to be Ja's return to being Ja. Not the high-flying act, not the Walenda, but I think Ja could be really, really good. People have debated online. He's not a pure point guard. He's a combo. Well, he's not a great shooter. I think he's more a point guard than he is a 2. But there's a lot of debate on him. But his name has popped up, and I'm sure you've seen a lot of those trades that involved the Grizzlies and Ja Morant.
Yeah, I mean, there's people are going to create a lot of stuff out there with Ja Morant trades because they know the Grizzlies are going to trade him, want to trade him. And so, yes, and using Ja's name will get people's attention. So there will be a lot of stuff thrown out there. I don't see any way in the world they trade out of the number 3 spot.
Really?
I don't. Now, could they use the 16 pick? Could something be involved with the 16th pick to make a Ja trade happen? Sure, could, but I don't see any chance of the Grizzlies trading in any way the number 3 pick.
How about if Boozer's not there for them at 3? Because the connection with Kleiman, the thought is that Boozer's the best player by a lot of people. In a lot of people's minds, he's the best player. And that's the one that most people have penciled in at number 3. If Cam Boozer wasn't available,
I don't think Cam Boozer is the number 1 player in a lot of people's minds.
I think
there's a reason he's looked at as the number 3 pick.
I don't know. I'm saying don't be surprised if he's not available at 3. That's all I'm saying. He may very well be. But we don't know what order they have. We don't know if there's another dude out there. I don't think there would be. But what I'm saying is, and again, this is just somebody coming up concocting this deal. And I'm looking at that going, well, Rob Dillingham was a top what pick by Minnesota?
I don't remember.
Was he a lottery? He was a lottery, wasn't he?
Yeah, I don't remember what exactly it was.
Better than Walter Clayton right now.
But if you're the Grizzlies, I don't. Again,
can you eat some capital?
You're going to be cutting like 3 guys.
Okay, can't you do that? Because wasn't it where we heard like a couple of years ago, maybe last year, that Para will spend? Remember we heard that Para will spend? Well, right now it seems like there's a lot of cost cutting going on. But I look at Patrick Williams compared to the kid they got from Utah, the former UCF guy. What's his name?
Taylor Hendricks.
I'm not so sure about him. I'm just saying that right there is not.
You're sure about Patrick Williams?
I'm not 100% sure. But Patrick Williams,
all those guys are really upgrades over
Patrick Williams has been around a little bit longer in the NBA and has been a little bit more steady. Not great, but consistent. And I'm just saying that if you had the 3 and the 4, and you looked at, like, say you had Peterson and Wilson, and you were like, we like them the same. One's a big, one's a shooting guard. We like them the same. And somebody offers you a nice package for Ja, and it moves you down 4. I'm saying it's not out of the question. You're saying it's less than 0%. In other words, no way in hell. Hell's going to have to freeze over twice. The Eagles are going to have to come back out and tour again, which they've done 30 times since hell freezed over. I don't know. To me, I think it's more likely that a big deal is made for the draft that involves Ja. Whether or not it involves the number 3, I don't know. I think there's more likelihood that the draft, because again, at that time, people right now teams are right now trying to figure out where they stand, what's possible with the draft, what's possible with free agency. It could come after. It could come after free agency. I don't know, but I just have a feeling it's going to come before the draft. What do you think, Jay Ham, about all this?
It's way too early, I guess, for me to really gauge it, because we really just don't know what these people are thinking. I agree with Eli, though. The idea of trading the 3rd spot, for what? No reason for it. Take that 3rd spot. If you're going to look at anything, 16 will be, the way that we would go to try to upgrade things. But whether Boozer's there at 3 or not, you still got the 3rd.
But we're only talking about 3 and 4. Exchanging 3 and 4. If people are saying that pretty much the top 4 are the same, and you're going to get a big package to move down, it's just like if I'm Washington, unless you are absolutely DeBonce is the guy, we're picking him, it doesn't matter what we're being offered. Then if you're thinking, well, you know what, Peterson, we love Boozer, and especially if right now they're going, we're going to pick one of those 2 before DeBonce, then you would make a trade with Utah and let Utah move up to 1. You don't tell them what you're doing. You just let them move up, because they're picking DeBonce. Utah is picking DeBonce. I don't care what kind of things are out there with media members in Salt Lake City. You got the owner and his connection with DeBonce from his time at BYU. The whole connection doesn't make sense to go in another direction. There'll be a lot of smoke screens out there. But if I'm Washington and DeBonce's not my number 1, I look to make a trade with Utah to go to 2, get some assets. They take DeBonce. You still get your guy.
Yeah, that makes sense. If you get something that makes you better, but that stupid Chicago trade doesn't make the Grizzlies better.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. I understand. I'm just saying that's one of. There was a ton of. There was one with Brooklyn. I've seen one with Phoenix, Sacramento, Minnesota, Milwaukee, and there's more teams now that we're hearing about. Again, it's all rumorville, but there's more teams, because during the trade deadline, it was like maybe they'll make a deal with Miami, maybe they'll make a deal with Sacramento. Milwaukee wasn't even brought up because the Giannis thing was still up in the air.
Milwaukee was brought up.
Well, didn't it simmer down after Giannis said, no, I'm committed to staying? I mean, he has said it like every 3 months
the whole thought with the Milwaukee trade is that if they do keep Giannis, if they don't keep Giannis, Ja makes no sense. If they keep Giannis, putting Ja with him is what the Milwaukee possibility is.
But there was uncertainty whether or not he was going to demand a trade or not. It was just uncertainty altogether.
The whole thing came out that one of the reasons it wouldn't happen is they wouldn't include Ryan Rollins in the trade.
Okay. All right. But anyway, there's more teams now. Don't you think?
Yeah, off season is easier to trade because it's off the salaries and everything else. Teams know where they are and all that stuff. In season, it's hard because teams are stuck with what they've got.
That's why I think there will be something done by the trade deadline. Folks, it's barbecue time. The World Championship Barbecue Competition going on at Tiger Lane. Now, whether you're in your backyard or on Tiger Lane, you're part of the team. Stop by Dinstall's to add that special touch to your weekend. You have your barbecue and you have your dessert. Dinstall's fine candies and chocolates. How about the cashew crunch? How about the chocolate-covered strawberries, the turtlettes, the chocolate-covered pretzels? Treats for the graduates as well. Many youngsters graduating from their high schools, from their colleges. A lot have already done so. But how about celebrating with a sweet treat for them? You can have them ship anywhere in the country. So you got a friend or family member celebrating a birthday, whatever the case may be. Send them some chocolate, some candies from Dinstall's. They've been doing it up for 126 years. It is hard to fathom that they have been doing it for that long and doing it so well. 5 locations: Collierville, Germantown, downtown Memphis, Pleasant View, where they make the candies, in Laurelwood and East Memphis. Stop by today and get yourself some Dinstall's. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Available locally on your radio dial as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, it's easy to stay tuned to Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus in Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
If you want to make money in sales, Flynn Broadcasting wants you. If you can sell, Flynn Broadcasting has a great career waiting for you. If you can sell, we have great benefits, salary, commission, sales leads, and a great place to work. If you can sell, let us know today. Send your resume to jobs@flynn.com. Can everyone sell? No. But if you can, Flynn Broadcasting wants you. Apply today at jobs@flynn.com. Start your great career today at jobs@flynn.com. Flynn Broadcasting wants you.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Don't you just love it?
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
A couple of texts here on the Sissies Log Cabin listener line. Reggie Texan says, why would you tank to get in the lottery and then trade down? Don't make sense.
Well, if you got a great package, you would trade down. If you're not, again, sold on that's the dude you want, and the other guys around him you like just as much, and then you bring in more assets. It's not crazy talk. It's you're not leaving the lottery. We're talking about one spot here.
Another text says a trade with Atlanta, giving up Ja, the 16th pick and a future first for the 8th pick, Kuminga and Corey Kispert. Atlanta would laugh hysterically, I think, at that offer. Like, what? They're going to give up Jonathan Kuminga and Kispert to get Ja and trade down 8 spots in the draft?
Yeah, I think we're overvaluing Ja.
If
unfortunately,
if Atlanta were to do that deal, you'd do that in a heartbeat. Yes, you do. From the Grizzlies' perspective, you do that in a heartbeat. I don't think Atlanta's trading down 8 spots and giving up Kuminga and Kispert to get Ja.
I don't know if you're even getting a first rounder in a trade for Ja. If you're getting back a first rounder,
they may have to give up a first rounder for somebody to take him.
I mean, that's sad. I mean, that is sad.
I mean, again,
that is sad right there.
And the thing is, there's a good chance that the teams that you're looking to trade, if Milwaukee decides they're moving Giannis, he's the number 1 trade target.
Sure.
Of all these teams. So and then if, say, the Clippers decide they're going to move on from Kawhi, like there's other guys that teams are targeting before the job becomes the consolation of, okay, we lost out on all these other guys. Maybe we could do something with Ja, but they're still not going to give up a ton of assets to get him.
That's why if you got a fish on the line right now, you reel it in and don't wait for teams to make decisions on some of the bigger names. See what you got out there. If it's a decent offer, take it. Don't be choosy.
Scotty Scheffler with another bogey. He has made 2 bogeys already through his first 3 holes of the day. He has dropped down to 1 under par. Patrick Reed also made a bogey. He is out of the tie for first. So now it is a 5-way tie. The only one on the course amongst the guys at 3 under par is Alex Smalley. All the others, Botgeter, Yeager, Lee, and Hisasuni will all go later today. But yeah, rough start so far for Scotty Scheffler to round 2, playing the back 9 first, which is the tougher 9 out there. And wind is blowing. It's a little bit cold once again, so some tough conditions. And Scheffler has bogeyed 2 of his first 3 holes.
What did you think of Scheffler nailing the Silhouette Challenge? Come on.
Any of those guys, again, it's
come on.
It's crazy. It's insane to me.
Michael Block, LeBron James, they from the Silhouettes. I think it's nuts. College baseball last night, Ole Miss loses at Alabama 5-4. Both teams back in action tonight in Tuscaloosa. Pregame starting at 5:30 right here on Sports 56, 98.5 FM. And the University of Memphis, congratulations to Matt Reiser and company. They beat Charlotte last night 9-4 in game 1 of their 3-game set that clinches a spot in the American Conference Tournament in Clearwater. First time in 3 years for Memphis. But Memphis, with 2 more games, could still move up the ladder as far as seeding is concerned. And it's a big advantage in the American Conference with baseball seeding, just like it was with basketball seeding, where the top 2 teams are automatically into the semis. In baseball, you get a couple of byes and you are into the quarters automatically. So you really can win the conference tournament with having only won 3 games, meaning your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday starters. So you're not going deep into the bullpen. It is a great advantage to be 1 or 2, even 3 or 4. You get a bye as well. And again, Memphis has put themselves into that position because they have played some great baseball in conference over the last 3 weeks. Hour 3 on the way. We open with 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation. Give you a chance to win a great prize package. And that'll be followed by the former ESPN personality, Kenny Mayne. He'll join us at 9:30. Corky's Ribs and Barbecue is a great option for lunch today, for dinner this weekend. Bring the family or bring it home to the family. They've been serving up delicious slow-smoke barbecue for 40 years. They've been catering that entire time. If you got an event coming up, you want it catered, let Corky's cater it for you, starting as low as $7.99 per person. They got lunch specials every day, party packs that start at just $7.99. When you get yourself your entree, your barbecue sandwich, maybe even their award-winning catfish plate, add a third of a rack of ribs for just $7.99. If you want them to deliver, that's what they do. $3.99 set price, local delivery fee to your home or office in the Memphis area. 4 locations: Poplar Avenue in Memphis, Poplar Avenue in Collierville, Germantown Parkway in Cordova, Goodman Road in Olive Branch. It's Corky's. Corky's Ribs and Barbecue. Open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. Hour 3 on the way. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. Do you know what Penny Hardaway and I have in common? We should both be in that building celebrating the best basketball players of all time. Of course, I'll have to buy a ticket to get in, but he should already be there. But seriously, we both surround ourselves with the best people we can find. We work hard to achieve our goals, and we are both among the best in our respective fields. At Fiveash, we can't win titles or get national awards, but what we can and do strive to do is give 100% of ourselves to give you the best product possible and one you can be proud of. So if you need a roof, siding, or gutters, give us a call at 901-367-0050, and we will do everything we can to provide you the best of everything. Fiveash Roofing. Fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys, Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Incorporated, Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have a great car buying experience. Triumph Auto Sales is your #1 source of quality pre-owned vehicles, ranging from lease returns to new car trades, all at huge savings. Plus, Triumph has a full array of financing options to meet your needs. Find your next car online at triumphautosales.com or stop in today at 4875 Elmore Road. Triumph Auto Sales will help you get the vehicle you want at the price you need and the service you deserve. For a great car and a great experience from a local and family-owned business, visit Triumph Auto Sales.
Coming up on Back Porch Sports.
Lane Kiffin is making news again, this time in Vanity Fair of all things. Meanwhile, Texas coach Steve Sarkisian is taking shots at Ole Miss. We're going to break down the spicy comments from both, and Will Stein is going to join us. We'll ask him his expectations for Kentucky football and the pressures that come from coaching in the SEC. All that and more Saturday morning. Be sure to join us.
Back Porch Sports, Saturday mornings at 10 on Sports 56 AM and 98.5 FM.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning, T-Dot's in the cleanup stages of a couple of accidents out. You're still busy trying to push up through Midtown on 240 North, especially here up by Lamar, as that volume of traffic increases on the 55 bridge coming over from Crittenden County, West Memphis. Hey, don't let a slipping transmission make things worse on your car or truck having any kind of transmission issues. Even if your light comes on, let them check it out at Amco Transmissions, 2 locations right here in Memphis. Tell them I sent you. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studios, we are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings.
Good morning.
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Hour 3, our final hour this week here on Sports 56 Mornings, the Friday, May 15th, 2026 edition. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, and Jay Ham. We're live and local, broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, they got the Memorial Day sale. They're getting you ready for summer. Great deals everywhere. Check them out at 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. You mentioned this ad, you get $200 off any pool or spa purchase at Family Leisure. Currently 67 degrees with a feel like a 71. It's going to get to 88 today. Breezy this morning, otherwise warm with intervals of clouds and sunshine tomorrow. 86 for a high, mostly sunny. Sunday, 89 for a high. Again, mostly sunny. And the next week begins with a couple of nice days before rain is expected in the forecast midweek. We got Kenny Mayne coming your way at about 9:30 from formerly of ESPN. We'll find out what he's doing now, but the colorful Kenny Mayne. But right now, jump on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines at 901-360-8255 because it's time for 10 in a row.
Not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, but 10 in a row.
Here's the game show that has swept the nation. It is brought to you each and every week by Gates Lumber and Napa Cafe.
That's right. Gates Lumber been serving up folks in the Memphis, taking care of lumber needs, all kinds of different needs for over 100 years. And, of course, with your home, well, one of the big the first looking point of your home, that would be your front door. And why not add to curb appeal and security with a custom door from Gates Lumber? They've got every type of door you can imagine. You can compare wood, steel, fiberglass options all side by side right there in the Gates showroom. They also have a great knowledgeable staff to help you pick out just the right door for your home. But custom doors, custom windows, all kinds of obviously lumber needs, everything you need, you'll find it at Gates Lumber. Whether you're a homeowner doing it yourself, whether you're a contractor, developer, whatever, they could take care of you at Gates Lumber. And they have free delivery as well. Free estimates, free delivery, quality products, competitive pricing. You'll find it all at Gates Lumber. You can find them at 1253 South Bellevue Boulevard or online at gateslumber.com. The winner of 10 in a row will get a $50 gift certificate to Napa Cafe, $25 gift certificate to the Owner's Box out in Lakeland, $25 to Sunrise, and a couple of Malco movie passes.
All right, so most of you probably are thinking, Greg probably did a golf question because of the PGA Championship. You would be wrong. It is an NBA playoff question. It is a current events question. We did not have a winner of 10 in a row last Friday, and I had a tough time getting over that over the weekend. I mean, really, I was distraught. We want to give away these prizes. First of all, you need to jump on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines at 901-360-8255. The question is, top 10 playoff scoring leaders by average so far this year. Top 10 playoff scoring leaders by average so far this year. Anybody who's played in the playoffs this year is eligible. Doesn't matter if you've played 3 games or you've played 8 games. Whatever the case may be. Top 10 playoff scoring leaders by their average so far this year. Yeah, there's a couple of tricky ones in here, but I think most people who know the NBA probably have a good grasp on what's going on. I think there's one that's really tricky, And we'll see how you guys fare with that one. But we need participants, 901-360-8255. Terrific prize package. That's the way to get your weekend started with 10 in a row. Again, brought to you by Gates Lumber and Napa Cafe. Top 10 playoff scoring leaders by average this year. The playoffs right now that are going on with 2 more games tonight on the docket with Cleveland and the Detroit Pistons battling in Cleveland. Cleveland leading 3-2. A win advances them to the Eastern Conference Championship Series. A loss would mean a Game 7 in Detroit on Sunday. In the West, San Antonio can wrap it up with a Game 6 win in Minnesota, but a Timberwolves win would mean a Game 7 on Sunday in San Antonio. And, of course, Oklahoma City awaits them. So there it is. I've set the stage. Top 10 playoff scoring leaders by average so far this year.
$50 to Napa Cafe, $25 to Sunrise, $25 to Owner's Box, and a couple of Malco movie passes for the winner. Scotty Scheffler, another bogey. Bogeyed 3 of his first 4 holes. He is now down to even par for the tournament. 3 shots off the lead. 360-8255, 360-8255. Sissy's Log Cabin listener line number for you to play 10 in a row. Mario will lead us off. Hello, Mario.
What's up, Mario?
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
All right, top 10 playoff scoring leaders by average so far this year. Jason Tatum.
No.
LeBron James.
No.
Jalen Brunson.
Yes.
Donovan Mitchell.
Yes.
Tyrese Maxey.
No.
Anthony Edwards.
No.
James Harden.
No.
Austin Reeves.
No.
RJ Barrett.
Yes.
Dylan Brooks.
Yes.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Mario stepping up.
Was Mario 1 away from the Hall of Fame or 2? I think you were 2, Mario.
Mario, you are a winner.
Way to go, Mario.
On, Jay will let you know how to get your prizes.
He waited on that.
Very impressive.
Sure, I'm sure he got a little help from Google, but to be able to answer that quickly, because there are some tricky ones. Ann Edwards, the average came down because didn't play the full max minutes, didn't put up the big points all the games. RJ Barrett's like, what? Do you remember? You remember Toronto even being in the playoffs? How about Dylan the Villain? So the second list, Eli, is all yours, my friend. Nothing on the line but pride. Top 10 playoff scoring leaders by average so far this year. Jalen Johnson.
No.
Scotty Barnes.
No.
Yes. Scotty Barnes, top 10. Paolo Banchero.
Yes.
Cade Cunningham.
Yes.
Joel Embiid.
Yes.
No. Jamal Murray.
No.
CJ McCollum.
Ooh, I'll say no.
Nikola Jokic.
No.
He's a yes. We think of Jokic having a bad playoff round, but he still had big numbers. He just had that one game where he was absolutely dominated. Victor Wembanyama.
No.
No. Even though he had didn't he have the 39-point game?
Well, he just had a game where he was kicked out of the game in the second quarter, scored 4 points.
Yeah,
4
there you
points,
go.
yeah.
That'll kill your average, right? That's intelligent
And
on both your parts.
Concussion game. How early did he leave that game? He didn't hit that.
Was that second
game.
quarter?
It affected the average without question.
Yeah, good point. And then the final one, De'Aaron Fox.
No.
There you go. That's 10 in a row. Congratulations to Mario. Thank you to Gates Lumber and to Napa Cafe, of course, our great sponsors.
That's right. Napa Cafe. Now 28 years they've been serving up great food over in East Memphis. 5101 Sanderland. That's where Napa Cafe is located. You can find them online at napacafe.com, where you could go check out the menu, make reservations as well, right there on the website. They are open for dinner Wednesday through Saturday, starting at 5 o'clock, and with the great food from steaks to seafood, all kinds of great dishes. some fantastic desserts, plus their signature dessert cocktails. Whether you're celebrating with a crowd, it's an intimate evening out, whatever, Napa Cafe is a great, great place to go. The private wine cellar, if you're celebrating a special occasion, that's a great way to do it over at the private wine cellar at Napa Cafe. The entire menu also available for curbside pickup. If you want to take some of that delicious food home with you, you can do that as well from Napa Cafe. Again, 5101 Sanderland or online, napacafe.com.
I think it was Jason Munn's first to report this, but yesterday it was a visit from top 15 national recruit Brady Pettigrew to the University of Memphis. He's in the class of 2028. So it's an unofficial visit, but he was in Memphis. And then, of course, he went on, I guess, IG and posted some of the shots of him in a Memphis Tigers jersey. So there you go. 2028 recruit that was in town for the University of Memphis. As far as this recruiting class for the 26-27 season, it seems on the surface it's complete, but maybe not. First of all, again, Coach Hardaway has one more scholarship at his disposal. He said that he was going to put that in his pocket and use it for a rainy day or not use it at all. But players are not official until the university has their signatures and then releases that information. And Fred Smith has still not signed officially. We talked about the kid from Briarcrest from several years ago with John Varlas. Forget his name already? Jay Nash going to Connecticut, but again, not from this past year's state championship team. But Jay Nash, hell of a player, going to Connecticut. We know that Parker Pounds from the state championship team is going to Memphis. And we all assume that Fred Smith is going to Memphis. But again, until the school releases the information, everything you read, everything that's said, and we had Fred Smith on the show. Great young man, terrific player. Hopefully it all works out and they figure out what the heck is going on there. But again, until he signed, it's not yet official. But already Penny and his team, his coaching staff, general manager Gabriel Harris, looking at players for the future. And Brady Pettigrew was in town from Memphis. So there you go. We mentioned in hour one the NFL schedule release yesterday. Now the whole entire schedule's out there. We had bits and pieces released for weeks, to be honest with you, starting with those international games. It's quite an interesting schedule in some regards. Again, with the Super Bowl champions facing the team they beat in the Super Bowl, the Seahawks facing the Patriots in week number 1. And then Kenneth Walker III, Seattle, of course, last year, the Super Bowl MVP, now with the Chiefs. They're going to play. That's actually what I'm talking about, is the Chiefs meeting the Seahawks. But the Seahawks will be playing the Patriots week number 1 in a rematch from the Super Bowl. So you got some really interesting, intriguing matchups. Here's the thing also. 5 teams did not score a primetime game. 5 teams. Jay Ham, you're shaking your head. You already know this, right?
Yeah, I was reading it.
You already know it. Eli, have you seen it?
I have not.
Okay. Guess the 5 teams that do not have a primetime game scheduled for the upcoming 2026 NFL season.
I would guess, let's think here. 5 teams without a primetime game.
I think you're going to do very well on this. I don't know if you're going to go 5 for 5. I'm predicting 4 for 5.
I would say Cleveland.
Right off the bat, I think you're going to nail 5 straight now. I have confidence in you.
Arizona?
Yes.
Vegas?
Yes. And that's a tough one because you think, oh, Mendoza. No, well, Mendoza I don't think is playing right off the bat. I think it'll be Cousins.
Titans?
Yes. 3 in a row. 2 more to make me look really good.
Miami?
Yes. 1 more. I predicted 4 out of 5, though, to be honest with you, right? So that's what I said here, officially.
New Orleans?
I was right, 4 out of 5. The answer is the New York Football Jets.
I was going to say Jets, but I was thinking just because it's New York, I thought maybe they were going to get
right.
They would have gotten one.
That's a great point about the market they're in. That's a really good point.
Harbaugh took their market share away from them in that sense.
Yeah, there's a little more excitement around the Giants with the actually they actually have a quarterback. Having a quarterback is a big part of playing football.
It's a big part.
Okay,
but hey, maybe Sorsby ends up as the Jets quarterback.
I just hope that they can get an interception this year for once.
That's
so. I was watching
instead of only throwing them.
Yeah, I was not watching. I follow Adam Shine on Twitter, and he put a little video out because he's a huge Giants fan. And I don't know if he's one of those, he changes from Jets to Giants guys, like Wolo with the White Sox and the Cubs, whoever's doing well. I mean, right now they're both doing well. So he's in his glory. Wolo, if you're listening, love you, buddy. But here's the thing. The Giants, we know that Jackson Dart's a quarterback. Scadaboo coming back from injury. Malik Neighbors, I think, coming back from injury as well. They may sign OBJ. They may sign Beckham. They did really well in the draft. And, of course, they got John Harbaugh. So Shine goes over real quick. Boom, boom, boom. Here's your 17 games. And he's got them 10-7. And I'm thinking to myself, are they that much improved that quickly? They got rid of their coach. They got some talent.
If they stay healthy,
are they a 10-7 team?
They probably are with Harbaugh on the sideline, and they stay healthy.
I mean, Dayball's gone. So, I mean, how many wins do you give a coach? What's a coach worth? We know John Harbaugh is a Super Bowl winning coach. Dayball's a really good mind. It just didn't work out in New York. I'm not a big fan of their GM, to be honest with you. But what's a coach worth?
I like that question. While I think about it, I'm going to have to transfer that question over to my guys at Views for the 22.
Okay, let me know what they think.
I mean, certainly a coach could be worth, but it's more again, you've got a quarterback now that you believe. Again, if Jackson Dart is what they think he is and he's healthy from what he showed last year, if Malik Neighbors is healthy, I mean, they played most of the entire season without Malik Neighbors.
Right.
And if Scadaboo's back and healthy, you've got a running back. I mean, that's why you would think they have a chance to win that many games, is because those guys, dude, it's nice to have a good coach like Harbaugh, but it's more the fact that the players, they have better players, and if those guys are healthy.
Yeah, but, a lot of teams have players, but they now have Harbaugh, as you mentioned. I thought last year Dart showed signs. I don't think Dart blew me away with what he can do, and he'll be much better to have Neighbors to throw to on a regular basis, assuming he stays healthy. And again, Scadaboo is the kind of guy that would literally take, he would just his head and do a headbutt into a cement wall. Who was it? Who was the guy who did it? The quarterback, Gus Frerotte. Was it Gus Frerotte who ran over and smashed his head into ended up being a brick wall?
It was either Gus Frerotte or Patrick Ramsey. I remember it being a Redskin, though.
Yeah, I think it was Frerotte because it was way back. Patrick Ramsey was not that long ago. I'm pretty sure. You could double check, but I thought it was Frerotte, but because I thought it was a while ago. But yeah, I don't know. I think, and we'll obviously be talking over the summer so much about the NFL. But the Giants are certainly one of those teams to look at to show improvement. 10-win Giant team? Not so sure. Not so sure if that will be the case.
They also, the good thing for the Giants is they got a last place schedule. So that also helps.
And again, the Bears, who broke the ice and got into the playoffs last year, and Ben Johnson's first year and a breakthrough year for Caleb Williams. Thank you. You get the toughest schedule projected.
They've got a first place schedule.
They got a first place schedule. At the PGA Championship, Alex Smalley, along with 4 others at 3 under par. Smalley is even through 4. He's the only one of the leaders that's out there on the course. Patrick Reed is 2 under. Where is Scotty?
Is that even par?
Wow. Scotty down to even par. Obviously, and I haven't seen, I know you're watching it over here on your little iPad, the conditions are much tougher. And here's the reason why. The wind continues to blow more today. The pin placements were incredible yesterday, so I'm not sure. I assume they're still tough today. The rough is pretty high for a PGA championship. It's not U.S. Open, but it's close, as Steve Sands told us yesterday.
It's so thick, man. They like some of these guys, like it just like the club just stops.
Right, but usually, and what's funny is you can see the ball a lot of times, and it still stops. It gathers around the hosel, as you kind of alluded to. But in the U.S. Open, it disappears. Like you don't see it. Here you see it, but it's still doing damage. And then the other thing is that the even though it's not baking, it's not a hot day with the sun out, I would think that it dries things up even further, and that means the greens will be even faster than they were yesterday because on Wednesday night they had all the rain. So I thought they were a little receptive.
0.2 of an inch of rain.
No, I heard it was nearly an inch.
It was the official thing. I think it was 0.28.
Get out of here! Really?
Yeah.
What I read was like 0.8. I thought it was like, man, only almost and that's why I had said yesterday on the show that I bet they were working until daylight overnight to get the conditions ready to go. But then again, they're probably doing that anyway. Make sure the conditions are great.
It's funny because during the golf tournaments, they show a lot Rolex. They always have the Rolex commercials.
Yeah.
They certainly got to add Garrick Higo to the Rolex commercials now, right? If anybody needs a watch, it's Garrick Higo. It's a perfect thing sitting there for him to get a sponsorship from some watch company.
Yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it? Doesn't have to be the big one. By the way, in that commercial, and I don't know how many different commercials they have, did you see Hush-Y'all? The one spot, it's the FedEx St. Jude Championship, and there's the Hush-Y'all sign. Speaking of Memphis, Sean McKeel, we talked about him earlier. He shot a 77 yesterday, 7 over par, as he gets his second round going later on in the day. We will take a break. When we come back, joining us, the former ESPN personality, Kenny Mayne, is on deck. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Did you miss your favorite Sports 56 show? No! Check out the podcast, broken down hourly at sports56whbq.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to like and subscribe. Never miss any Sports 56 show again with our podcasts available daily from Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
You know, sometimes I wish I had a gun.
Well, I'm armed, but before I bought one, I still went to Top Gun Academy to learn to protect myself without a gun.
How is that possible?
Top Gun's personal protection training. It's perfect if you want to protect yourself without firearms.
I don't know.
And it's perfect if you feel the need to carry a gun for self-defense, because the last thing you really want to do is shoot.
That is scary.
Not at Top Gun. It's very comfortable, and you learn to load, handle, and shoot a handgun safely. Protect yourself. Go to Top Gun Academy. They're at 2770 Witten Road.
Old Dominick Distillery is pouring Memphis pride into every cocktail. From the winning atmosphere at its downtown Memphis distillery to award-winning craft spirits, Old Dominick is pure Memphis spirit through and through. Swing by the distillery bar for a pregame cocktail or celebrate your wins with a guided tour and tasting. Old Dominick Distillery. Come for the spirits, stay for the experience. Cheers to Memphis. Learn more at olddominick.com.
It's time to get your backyard ready for the ultimate pool party with a little help from Family Leisure. If you've been sitting on the fence about taking the plunge with a pool, now's the time to take the dive. You want an above-ground pool? Done. Starting at $39.99, and that's with installation. You want an in-ground pool? Take your pick. They start at under $50,000. Accessorize that pool with a patio furniture set starting at just $9.99. Outdoor sectionals, they start at $12.99. In fact, all in-stock patio furniture sets are priced to move. And with select patio furniture sets, you'll get a free umbrella and base. Okay, you aren't looking to get into a pool just yet? Family Leisure has hot tubs that start at just $34.99. Get in shape or stay in shape with a swim spa starting at $16,999. Get your backyard, front yard, side yard, whatever, ready for fun. Family Leisure, Witten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
Hi, this is Troy Five Ash, owner of Five Ash Roof Services. I wanted to take a minute and discuss advertising with you. There are so many websites that list the best service provider in your area. Even the BBB has an accredited list. You know the one thing they all have in common? A company like mine has to pay to get on that list. So that begs the question, can those lists be trusted? You know what can be trusted? History. We've been around for almost 30 years providing customers with the best service and the best products that we possibly can. So if you need a roof, siding, or gutters, give us a call. We'll come talk to you and let you decide for yourself whether or not we know what we're talking about. 5 Roof Services. Best products, best warranties, and in many cases, the best price. We're fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5 Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings. Good morning. On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everybody. 9:28 is the time. Final 30 and change for us here this week on Sports 56 Mornings, getting you set for the sports weekend, and we are excited to bring in our next guest. You watched him for years and years at ESPN, one of the most colorful characters that they ever produced. Certainly put a smile on my face, and I'm sure all of you out there. The great Kenny Mayne joining us on the program, who you can follow on Twitter at Kenny_Mayne. He joins us now on Sports 56 Mornings. Good morning, Kenny.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Man, we're doing good. Fantastic. I know you got this new line that we're going to be talking about here in just a second. But first of all, for those people who don't know what's going on, what's been going on with you? Where can they see you? And what's happening with your career?
You could have seen me yesterday in Philadelphia. My friend qualified for the PGA Championship. So we went down to Philadelphia from Hartford. He didn't do great for him. He was a little disappointed. Probably won't make the cut, but just to get there is a huge accomplishment.
Absolutely.
So he's a club pro. I don't belong there. I'm just good friends with a lot of people out near Seattle, and Austin Hurt, and we were so proud of him, like getting there. But it's tough. It's a hard course. He's missing fairways and hitting out of 5 inches of grass, and it's not easy, but pretty cool to get to that level. I mean, he's 4 strokes behind Max Homa, so whatever. 5 strokes behind Rory, like maybe a little more now. But, yeah, that was a thrill. But to answer your question, I've been doing a show about golf, actually. It's me, Cooper Manning. I always say the more handsome and intelligent of the Manning. And Kevin from The Office. Yeah. That's Brian Baumgartner.
Right.
Who happens to be a really good golfer. He's like a 6 or a 7 or something like that.
Yeah,
so
Brian's been here in Memphis.
Pardon me?
He's been here for a number of the Pro-Ams with the tournament associated with Memphis. So, yeah, we're very familiar with him.
I don't doubt it. Yeah, he gets up there a lot. And we started the show, I guess last summer is when it really kind of kicked off. We went to Scotland, had a big kickoff thing with a company called Travis Matthew. And then we tape everybody once a week. And, it's called We Need a Fourth. So it's us 3 idiots talking to somebody. We've got some amazing guests. I mean, all up and down the list, both ex-players, current players, comedians, the guys who are our bosses, Smartless, they all came on as well. Because Smartless, Jason Bateman and Will Arnett and Sean Hayes, they have their show.
Great podcast.
And they sort of expanded and started adding other shows, essentially under their umbrella, right? So it's been fun. We'll see how long we keep doing this and where it goes.
We had you on the show when you had your the wiffle ball thing coming out with Ken Griffey Jr. and we're talking about your Run Freely Foundation. You're still doing stuff with that, correct?
Oh yeah, we just put 2 veterans in the last, I think, month and a half. So it comes and goes. For those who don't know, I wrecked my ankle playing football way back when. You can go to the website's runfreely.org. Runfreely.org tells the whole story. But as I got older, more surgeries, and then there's nothing left to do. And I got this device in Gig Harbor, Washington that totally changed my life. I mean, I don't know how far we walked yesterday. It felt like 10 miles, following one guy all around a 7,000-yard course. And no pain, a little swelling. It doesn't fix anything. It just masks the pain, sort of, it without using drugs. That's the great part about it. You just stick this thing on, do what you want to do, take it off, I could probably stand to wear it even more. But like when I go to the store, or I'm running up to gas, I don't put this thing, just to get out of my car 5 feet, right? But if I'm going to do anything ambitious, I definitely put it on. And I played flag football at the Super Bowl with a bunch of veterans. I take walks all the time. I play golf all the time, and the thing changed my life. So Gretchen and I decided to do something good about it, and we started raising money, for the next veteran in line, whoever needs one next. So hopefully that continues successfully.
That is great what you do. Having 2 brothers, one that was in Vietnam and another one that was a Marine. I salute you for what you're doing. Really, really appreciate that. And, we have a lot of people that come on that do things for veterans, and I think that's, that's dear to my heart. Kenny Mayne joining us here on the program. So let's talk about the reason you're on, and then we'll kind of maybe do some memories, walk down memory lane, because I got to ask you about you being a Washingtonian and also the awesome sports run they've been on in that state. But, okay, what is going on now is a new card maker, greeting card maker. Of course, Hallmark has owned that market for a long, long time, but it's called Love Pop, and it's a Love Kenny collection, and it's for all occasions. We just had Mother's Day, but we got Father's Day coming up on June 21st, and Pop deserves a card as well. Tell us how you got involved and what it's all about, Kenny.
Plus there's a birthday every day. It's funny. Right. I mean, sometimes you get into a new venture and feel like, what are you doing that for? It's because it's not what you were doing before. It's something different. But I'm just, my goal is to end up having every job there was, right? I need to do I think I need to be a maitre d' at a restaurant. I'm gunning for that. Or wine. What's the wine expert called now?
I don't even I can't pronounce the word.
Sommelier. No, I made garbage cans. I was a garbage man. I sold prepaid legal insurance. I sold long distance. I worked for ESPN, done commercials, speaking. This project came about just out of reality. I was going to my niece's birthday party 10 years ago, and we didn't have a card. And I was kind of like, so what? She's 1. Like, what? She can't read. Like, what does it even matter, right? You're doing the card, and in fact, most people do the birthday cards at the little kid parties, not for the kid. The kid can't read. They do it so the parents, you gave us that present. We got to write, right?
Right.
Or they want to win the day with the funniest, cutest card, or whatever the case, right? So I just made up a card that said, "You are 1," and then you open it up and it said, "You cannot read," and that was the end of that card. And so I've tried a whole bunch of different ways, and it just didn't work out with whoever I was working with, or to get it off the ground, to have like a whole line of jokes just like that, or sentimental things as well. And I ran into these people at Love Pop, and they're great. They're like top 4 sales card company in the country. Like, they know what they're doing. Their cards pop up, as the name implies, and you get some little piece of art. It's not just a little 2-dimensional thing. And so we just started. What's today? Friday. We just put it out on Monday. You go to lovepop.com and then search Love Kenny, and you see all the ones I've made so far. So essentially, you order them, whatever. Hopefully, people order 3 or 4 of them, whatever they pick, and then they make them at that point and ship them to you. So
that's really cool.
It's a physical card. It's not an electronic card, as we've seen a lot of people do. But it's fun. It's something different. We're making funny videos to support the project. Kevin from The Office made me a great video the other day, leaning on all my famous friends to put the word out, because until people know about it, they don't know about it, right?
So I guess you said there are some, because I was wondering, are all of yours humorous, funny cards, or are there some that are not humorous?
No, believe it or not, I did a few sincere ones. I did a couple for Father's Day for like stepfathers, right? Like having that sentiment, and some relationship cards, just simple. A lot of people don't like to write. I've always been one who wanted, give me a blank card, give me a picture of a mountain and blank on the inside. I'll write what I want, right? Mm-hmm. I liked expressing whatever I was trying to do. Some people don't like to do that, so they'd rather have something fun, funny, clever, sentimental, whatever it is, done for them. All they got to do is sign their name. So we got a variety of everything. We have a line, pets giving cards, right? People personify their pet, and the dog is now giving a birthday card. I mean, Gretchen does that every year at Christmas, right? We get presents from kittens. We get, you don't know.
Kenny, look, I've been in television. I was in television for 27 years. Been in radio for a long, long time. I'm an oldie. First of all, I was shocked when I was looking up your bio and realized you're actually older than me, and you were at ESPN for as long as you were. I mean, I didn't even realize that. But you know, in our business, a lot of people sometimes they kind of force things in their presentation, and with you, it just always seemed to come natural. Did you always have that sense of humor? Because it seems like, you know, nothing's even preconceived, although some of these things obviously had to come up with, but my gosh, it would spill out of you so easily. So when you were an athlete and when you were playing sports, were you still like the class clown?
I mean, I don't know if that's the right word, but I definitely, you know, like have some extemporaneous skills. Like, you know, some situation happens and then I seem to have what I want to say when I want to say it. I always say I got a career, or made my career on the same things that got me sent on the hall in 5th grade, right? Like,
right.
What can I say that's really stupid right now and try to get, you know. So it worked sometimes and other times it didn't. I got better at it with time. I think when I first started at my little station in Seattle before I got to ESPN, you know, like the basics might have been okay, the fundamentals, but I wasn't smooth at it, right? I was, you know, I wasn't screaming "boom goes the dynamite," but it was close at times. So, yeah, I mean, I just think until you do it twice, you've only done it once, right? I always say that about whatever job you have, you're going to get better with repetition. But that was what was so fun about SportsCenter, the live notion of it, right? You're getting handed a piece of paper. Some kid watched the game. You didn't see 1 second of that game, but you trust he or she gave you good info. You trust the producer and director roll the right tape, and here you go. You've never seen it before, and you're about to do it and go. So that's why, you know, you had to get good at being on the fly in the first place. And sometimes stuff would just come up, or I used to carry a little list sometimes, like try to use these 3 or 4 whatever things I wanted to say over a play and squeeze them into the show somehow. But most of it just happened naturally, as you were saying.
You've done some stand-up comedy too, right? Are you still doing some of that?
If someone will have me do it, I'll keep doing it. But what happened is I made this little movie. We talked about the wiffle ball movie, and I wanted to kind of make the whole thing be a show. I haven't quit on the plan. I always like to, you know, die trying. What I ended up doing is making like a half-hour, call it a stand-up or call it me telling stories, you know, whatever you want to call it. But I'm up there telling like childhood stories that set the table to watch the movie. I just did it actually last Saturday in Wenatchee, Washington. That's where I played junior college football before I went to UNLV. My old coach, Sandy Cooperrider, we were putting a fundraiser together, you know, to raise money for the athletics program over there. So we just put on a show. We had about 400 people in the room and told my stories and showed my movie, and, you know, we raised a few dollars. So I've still not gotten the last no, so I'm going to keep trying until everybody says no, to try to make that whole thing be a show, right? Like an hour-long start-to-finish comedy/movie.
So in Seattle, in Washington, obviously the Seahawks winning the Super Bowl, the MVP happens to be from here in the Memphis area. Kenneth Walker is now with the Chiefs, as you know. But a Super Bowl win, the Mariners last year certainly made a great run. So from a sports standpoint, obviously being an athlete like you are, I imagine that you're a huge sports fan. Are you a fan of those teams specifically?
Oh, absolutely. I root for them all. I mean, you know, football is the one I played. That's the one that's in my blood. So obviously, that will always probably stand out, right? But I'm a huge Mariner fan. Still a Sonics fan, even though they don't exist. I don't root against Oklahoma, but I don't necessarily root for. I just kind of admire how good they are.
I hear you.
But we don't have a connection. It's not like, all right, our team got stolen, let's root for them, you know, from 2,000 miles. You know, it's not like that. There are other people, I think, who take it too far and, you know, put hexes on Oklahoma. You know, I just don't. The players didn't do anything wrong. The original sin was selling the team to people who don't live in Seattle, and that was, you know, long ago. But hopefully we're getting the team back. I didn't get too excited about the recent announcement because I was like, hey, let me know when it happens. You guys have been saying that forever. They left in, 2008 or something? I think it's been forever ago. So we got the Storm. They're fun to watch. The Kraken, the new hockey team, the colleges have success. Like, yeah, it's it's a huge basketball area too. Jamal Crawford's sort of the leader of it, right? You know, with his pro-am, and his son's amazing, just a freshman in high school this year that won the state title. But it's thriving in a whole bunch of ways. Then you get into the other things, the rowing and hiking and the mountains and, the fishing, like it's on and on, both recreationally and competitively. It's a pretty good spot to be involved in sports.
I'll tell you a funny story real quick about, you were talking about being a fan of course, the Sonics and not so much the Thunder, which is basically the Sonics. I was a huge Colts fan. Now, I'm not from Baltimore like you're from the Washington area. I was from South Jersey, but I happen to be a Colts fan, grew up, Johnny Unitas, all that stuff, Burt Jones. I was one of the guys, I was one of those fraternity guys that moved the Colts to Indianapolis. The Mayflower Vans, all that. You know that story. I mean, it's been shown so many times. I was one of those guys. But I am still a huge Colts fan, even though they're in Indianapolis. I've been there to see them and all. And I think the difference is I didn't have that hometown connection because I just happened to be a South Jersey guy who was a fan of the Colts. But I think for the Baltimore people, forget about it. They hate that team, I'm sure, just like most Seattle fans are not fans of Oklahoma City.
Yeah, it's funny, unless you've kind of like lived it. Like, I was hoping people were talking about why doesn't Seattle just grab one of the NBA teams that's not doing as well wherever it is they're not doing well.
Yeah.
And I want a brand new team. I want to fresh off the factory. There's enough players worldwide they can put another team together and have an expansion draft. Have a way to stock it like they always they would. But it would feel like you're just ripping somebody else off if we grab whoever. So. I hope one day it's done the right way, and we have a gym waiting. That was always the complaint, right? That they didn't have a facility that measured up to the status of the NBA and luxury suites and all that kind of stuff. And now we have Climate Pledge, which is built right on the same grounds as where the old Coliseum was. But I think it'll happen one day. But when it does, I'll get excited.
You mentioned the fact that you've had just about every job in the world. You also talk about the fact with your ankle issues, but it's not really a job, but amongst the things you've done in your life, where does Dancing with the Stars rank as far as difficulty?
As far as what?
As far as difficulty.
Well, you know what? My ankle was better back then. That was a long time ago. It was like 2005, 2006, and it got really bad a few years later. Like I had another set of surgeries, and it wasn't great, but I was able to do more things. So as far as the physical task, it swelled up a bit, but it wasn't. I think the problem was I didn't practice enough, and I'm not a very good dancer. Those were two things that had against me. Like Jerry Rice was on the same season as I was.
Oh, really?
And I asked him how much he practiced. He practiced 7 days a week. I'm like, dude, I'd practice. The girl Andrea Hale was her name. They'd fly her out to Connecticut. We'd work together for 2 hours. And then for like a week or 10 days, I'd go do my job. I was flying around the country doing football stories and whatnot. And we'd meet up again. So it showed too. I kept telling her, why don't we do something super simple that I can master and I'll look like I halfway know what I'm doing. Instead, we went for let's do something ambitious and see if they reward us for our ambition, which I'm just like running around the floor trying to catch up to her. Like I had no prayer. But I don't think I was the worst one. And Master P, I believe, would admit to this. I think I was second worst, but I got thrown off first because he had a huge following. He had a big, still does, had fan base that was voting for him. Where people were like, who the hell is this guy? But it was fun doing it. And then ultimately, Jerry and I and Len Goodman, rest in peace, the old judge, we did that little bit. For how long? Like 8 years. We every year we'd come back and do this little Sports Center parody, talking about the dancers who remained. So it was fun while it lasted.
I like the fact. I don't think I was the worst. I don't think I was the second worst. I was the second worst.
Second worst.
You can't blame me for being last.
Well, it's funny though. In a weird way, being thought of as one of the worst or the worst, it benefited because then it was like, oh, that'll be funny. We'll have that terrible dancer come on and be a commentator. So whatever. We all left as friends. It was like I said. I might have done a few things different. I don't think I was ever going to win. But when it was offered, I was kind of like, who am I dancing with? Who's the star? And they're like, no, you. So then I was like, all right, whatever. It was a new thing, right? It was, remember,
that was
if your memory's good, it came out the very first time it was over a summer. It was like a summer replacement show. And then they restarted it as here we go. We're going to do it, in season. And we were the first, second time technically, but the first one as far as in the regular year of television.
A few more minutes with Kenny Mayne here joining us on the program. Go ahead, Eli. I just got a couple of Sports Center things to ask him, and then.
Well, I was going to. Memphis, the University of Memphis opens up against UNLV. Do you go to UNLV games at all?
I didn't get a chance last year, but the last several years I definitely have. It's been fun seeing the growth of that team. Just last 5 years, like huge improvements going the right direction, and they're getting picked for bowl games. And that 2 years ago they had that chance against Boise State, where they would have been in the 12. Like it's been fun to see the kind of resurgence of it all.
Well, if you are there, I am the sideline reporter for Tigers football. If you are there and you're on the sideline, I'm going to try to find you, and don't be startled when this 5'8" guy with gray hair comes up to you and says, hey, Kenny, do you remember your radio bit you did in Memphis? That will be me. I love it. I will look you up.
Let's
all
do
right.
it.
So real quick, kind of a rapid fire thing. Favorite moment? I mean, you have so many, I'm sure, but your favorite moment in your time at ESPN? Was there one that stands out?
Somebody just asked me this the other day. It was, if I had to do one, because, I would list a whole bunch of things, right?
You write a book on this.
Singularly, I got Stevie Wonder to say, I can't be at the baseball all-star game. I have a high ankle sprain. So he's like my one, I'd say kind of like one and only idol, if you will. Like, I don't even want to say that word, but you know what I'm saying. Like somebody you like revere in a different way than...
Sure.
The other guys, like, whatever. They shoot basketballs better than we do. They run fast. I admire what they do, but they're still just human beings, and they happen to be faster, better, or throw better, or whatever, right? There's a different thing about him, or just being around him. But I went down to Philadelphia. He was at a big concert. Talked to this guy. He said, "Stand here. I'll bring him by after the show. He'll either do it or he won't do it." Gave him the sweet talk about, hey, I'm your biggest fan. I even know Secret Life of Plants. I'm like hyping myself for how well I know him. And he listened. He did the line, one take, and walked away. So that had to be the biggest thrill.
That is really cool. And finally, who was your favorite co-host, or maybe even just your favorite person that you worked with all those years at ESPN?
There's too many to choose from. I got along with pretty much everybody as far as doing shows. That was the best part about it, is feeling, like a team. That was kind of the sports aspect of it. You had to count on each other. There were times I'm out there with Butch Gross. I'm like, how do you say this guy's name? Some hockey guy that I'd never heard of. And, they're all good. John Anderson, Wingo, Neil, the list is long. And Dan Patrick going way back, Stuart Scott going way, way back. Like, I wouldn't want to just say, only this guy. Oberman, the times I worked with him was great. So, and I'm leaving out a million others. But, yeah, it was fun while it lasted.
Well, it was fantastic to watch you for all those years. And one more time, Kenny, tell everybody about the Love Kenny collection and how they can get these cards for all occasions, including birthdays and everything else.
There it is. You go to lovepop.com, LOVEPOP, lovepop.com, and then they have a little search bar. Put in Love Kenny, and away you go.
I'm going to look you up in Vegas. Thank you, Kenny.
Love it. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Great stuff. Kenny Mayne, formerly of ESPN.
Folks, whether you're buying or selling a home, you always want to make sure you have a great realtor on your side. Bubba Sandifer with Emmett Baird Realty is that guy. 901-319-0747. Give Bubba a call. If you're looking to buy, he's going to make sure you find that perfect home for you and your family at a great price. And if you're selling, well, if you want to get rid of it quickly, he will buy it as is for cash, or if you're looking for top dollar, certainly he'll list that, get you maximum exposure, find serious buyers, and get you great results getting top dollar for your home. Either way, you're coming out a winner when you've got Bubba Sandifer on your side with Emmett Baird Realty. 901-319-0747. Bubba Sandifer with Emmett Baird Realty.
We'll wrap it all up, put a nice little bow on this week when we return. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Available locally on your radio dial as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, it's easy to stay tuned to Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Landers Ford in Collierville, #1 in the Mid-South. New 2025 Ford F-150. Employee pricing for everyone, plus no down payment. Yes, it's the Memorial Day no pay event. We're celebrating America 250 with employee pricing for everyone on hundreds of new F-150s, plus no down payment. Trade values are strong for now. Get top dollar before values drop. Shop one of the largest selections of new Fords in the Mid-South. The price you see is the price you pay. No hidden addendums. That's the Landers Ford difference. Get started now with our Landers Easy Pass at LandersFordMemphis.com. Don't wait. New F-150s with employee pricing for all, plus no down payment. The best sell fast. Landers Ford in Collierville. Remember, if it doesn't say Landers, you pay too much.
As reported on Ford's 2025 Total New Vehicle Retail Sales Report, Memphis Market. Employee pricing is a Ford A plan pricing program. U.S. residents only. Prior purchases not eligible. Other exclusions may apply. See dealer for complete details. Price plus tax title license. Offer includes $6.95 processing fee with approved credit through Ford Credit. Offering 6/126.
Napa Cafe celebrates 28 years in 2026.
Hi, I'm Glenda Hastings, owner of Napa Cafe, and I want to thank you for making us part of your dining experiences. If you are a first-time guest or have dined with us countless times, I want to thank you for making us part of your lives. Whether you're celebrating with the crowd or planning a cozy date night on the town, Napa Cafe can provide you an extraordinary evening. We have 5 dining rooms, including our private wine cellar, our Jan's room for 2 guests, and the Eleanor room for parties up to 60. Sit back, relax, and celebrate. Leave the cooking to us. Come see me at Napa Cafe, 5101 Sanderlin Avenue. We're open Wednesday through Saturday for dinner starting at 5 o'clock. We also offer curbside pickup from our full menu. For details on our stay-in, dine-out menu or reservations, visit our website at napacafe.com. We can't wait to serve you.
Come join in and celebrate 28 years of Napa Cafe in 2026.
This is Kelly Erb with Mark Spensdorf Realtors. I have worked with Sheldon Rosengarten for over 10 years and have noticed something about the way he works with his clients. He is way too honest, and they are grateful for us for pointing out things they were not aware of.
This is Sheldon, and yes, being honest has caused people to really think about what they need to do to sell their homes or when they buy. Kelly and I have advised people about what are the best and most economical things to do to prepare their homes for the market to get the best prices.
And Sheldon, we always provide our buyers with the necessary background research to advise them before they make an offer on a house. And yes, we have even sometimes talked clients out of buying, and they're grateful for us pointing out things they were not aware of.
So if you're thinking of buying a home, call or email Kelly or me, and before you list your home, talk to 2 to 3 real estate brokers, but make sure we are one of them.
Yes, remember to call me, Kelly Erb, at 355-3830.
And when you want the job done, call Sheldon at 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com. Call us today.
Rebel Nation, get the latest on everything Ole Miss sports with the Cannon Motors of Mississippi Rebel Yell Hotline. Join Rebel insiders Chuck Rounsville, Yancey Porter, and Gary Darby Monday nights at 6 as they break down the latest with the Rebels, along with even more insight from special guests. Rebel Yell Hotline, Mondays at 6 p.m. on WHBQ.
Stay up to date with everything going on in Ole Miss athletics with Rebel Yell Hotline every Monday night from 6 to 7 on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings.
Good morning.
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
My theory continues. Anywhere you go in this world that has somewhat of a size, you're going to find something orange, UT orange. I mean, everywhere. Now, of course, it's pretty obvious you go to New York, but my son just sent me a picture. It's like they just got off the plane and boom, there's a bar. And they got the 2 big flags outside facing, one of the, I don't know, it was 5th Avenue, whatever. New York Knicks. They got the New York Knicks flag, and right next to it, the Volunteers, the UT Vols flag. It's just, I've told stories where I've gone to the Vatican.
I'll charge that as just that. That's a Bernard King fan right there.
Yeah. Oh, that's probably what that is. Maybe it's a Bernard King-owned bar. But I went to the Vatican. 3 different people. 3 different people. Either a UT hat, UT shirt. I'm like, it's unbelievable. All right, Eli, give everybody an update on the PGA Championship. What's happening? Round 2.
Well, you've got Alex Smalley, the only one on the course that is amongst the leaders. Of course, you had a 7-way tie overnight. Now it's down to 5, and 4 of them have not teed off yet. Smalley is even par through 5 holes today. He is at 3 under par still. Aldrich Potgieter, Steven Yeager, Minwoo Lee, and Ryo Hitsune have yet to hit the course. They are all still at 3 under par. Hideki Matsuyama, 2 under on his round today through 12 holes. He is moved at 2 under for the tournament. Patrick Reed out on the course through 9 holes. He is also at 2 under. Some other golfers, Xander Schauffele, Sahith Thagala, Max Gracerman, all at 2 under par, yet to tee off. Scotty Scheffler, rough start, 3 over par so far through 6 holes on his A. That group is struggling. He is 3 over on his round. He is lead. He's the best of that group. Fitzpatrick is 4 over so far today, and Justin Rose is 5 over so far today on this round. Shane Lowry having a rough day. He's 4 over par on his day. The wind is blowing. It's a chilly morning, and the conditions are tough at Aronimink.
Well, we'll be back on Monday. We'll talk about that, but many other topics. The NBA playoffs resume tonight. We want to thank John Varlas, Ed DeRosa, and Kenny Mayne for joining us on the program. Coming up next, it's Rolo and Friends on Sports 56. Want to thank you folks, as always, for listening, your calls, your texts. We always appreciate it. For Eli Savoy and Jay Ham, I'm Greg Gaston. Have a great weekend.